Chapter 753. Finally, at the peak of Demon Ceiling Mountain, Xiao Han and the insufferably arrogant demon prince began a peerless battle. This was a battle of the pinnacle. It could even have a profound impact on the structure of the entire demon realm. On top of Demon Ceiling Mountain, the densely packed demon tribe cultivators unleashed their defensive demon magics, forming a protective barrier of demon wind. This way, they wouldn't be affected by the shockwaves of the battle between the two greater demons. Even Man Shan, Bewitching Sword, and Pai Hu, the three monarch beasts, had no choice but to be on the defensive. At this moment, they finally realized the difference between them and the two monarch beasts. Previously, he had wanted to scheme against them, but now that he thought about it, it was truly laughable. Either one of the two great demons in front of them was enough to kill them 10 times over. The three great demon emperors were completely disheartened. As for those old demons who wanted to get a share of the spoils, they also stopped now, not daring to act rashly. The current Xiao Han, boom, 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 boom. The violent pressure was like a huge demonic wall, directly crushing towards Xiao Han. The demon crown prince was indeed extraordinary. With a wave of his hand, he could launch hundreds of demonic techniques of different attributes at Xiao Han. It was simply distorting space, causing chaos and disorder in time. The demon crown prince was too powerful. Xiao Han, who was in the eye of the storm, had no doubt that the demon crown prince was stronger than the intermediate immortal emperors of the immortal world. He was definitely an existence that could kill intermediate immortal emperors in an instant. This vile spawn is too strong. If I bring him back to the immortal world, I'm afraid only a few high immortal emperors would be able to restrain him. Xiao Han understood. Immediately, a chill ran down his spine. Damn it. If the demon crown prince led the army of the demon race to attack the immortal world, it would cause a great disaster. The three high-rank immortal emperors were the demon crown prince's fathers. Once the war started, it was hard to say whether the three high-rank immortal emperors would act in the name of justice. As for the number 1 Grand Mist Emperor, he was too mysterious and had not appeared in the world for a very long time. No. I must kill this demon crown prince today. He had to get rid of the hidden danger in the celestial world, and he had to avenge the death of the invincible Blade's master. Die. The demon crown prince must die today. As his thoughts flashed, Xiao Han also continuously struck out with demonic techniques. The arch left arm's palm was completely enveloped by scorching demonic light. The light was so bright that it was even fiercer and more domineering than the sun. With a single thought, Xiao Han also blasted out hundreds of demonic techniques. However, as the demon crown prince said, the demonic technique that the demon prince cultivated and mastered was the supreme and invincible demonic technique of the demon realm. On the other hand, the demonic techniques that Xiao Han mastered were only the demonic techniques of some demon emperors and demon emperors in the mortal world. Although it could be said that the demon techniques of the secular world had been modified and upgraded countless times by Xiao Han, it could defeat the demon techniques of the great emperor of the demon clan in the upper realm. However, in essence it was not a supreme demonic technique after all. Therefore, Xiao Han's hundreds of demonic techniques were destroyed by the demon crown prince's demonic techniques the moment he released them. Hong, a scarlet wall of demonic aura pressed down on Xiao Han. This wall of demonic chi encompassed all directions, swallowed the 4 seas, swallowed the world. It was as if there was only this wall of demonic chi in the entire world. This demonic aura wall was formed by hundreds of supreme demonic techniques released by the demon crown prince. This wall of demonic chi was enough to obliterate everything of the past and the future. Go there now. There are 10,000 kinds in the world. Ha ha ha. Perish. Wild demon. No matter how many of your trashy demonic techniques there are, they can't pose any threat to me. Ah. I was born noble and invincible. Every demonic technique that I cultivate is the secret of the demon realm. Every demonic technique that I cultivate is more precious than all the demonic techniques that you, a wild demon, have mastered. Ah. Originally, if a lowly wild demon like you had submitted to this prince, then this prince would have been able to reward you like a demon dog and reluctantly reward you with a demon technique. But now there's no more chance. I'm going to torture you to death. Hong, the wall of demonic chi sealed off all of Xiao Han's escape routes. It was like the heavens and the earth crushing towards Xiao Han. It was unstoppable. TSK. Enough. This wall of demonic chi contains 437 of my demonic techniques. It's enough to kill you? The demon crown prince simply folded his arms and looked at Xiao Han mockingly. You want to kill me, Xiao Han? What an idiot. You're nothing but a combination of immortal and demon. Filthy. Xiao Han roared in his heart. However, without a doubt, This battle was the strongest battle that Xiao Han had ever faced in his life. All the potential of his life was stimulated. Roars and cries burst out from the Demon Emperor's palm. A demon city. Sky Demon World Destroyer. Demon Dragon Roar. Sky Demon Prison. Xiao Han unleashed 3,876 demonic techniques in one go. This was a demonic technique that was unleashed in an instant. It had reached Xiao Han's current limit. It's true that your demonic technique is of high quality and mine is of low quality. However, I can unleash thousands of demonic techniques in one go against hundreds of yours. I'll wear down your spirit even if I have to. Xiao Han swore in his heart. However, he was also a little unhappy. Xiao Han knew that if he could use immortal techniques, then the 100 Lives Saber Dao would also be unleashed. The ultimate moves of the immortal and demon sects would be able to achieve an unimaginable result. However, he had to hide his immortal techniques and Saber Dao for now. Thousands of demonic techniques condensed into a huge savage demon dragon and blasted at the wall of demonic aura. Unleash thousands of demonic techniques in an instant? The Demon Crown Prince glanced sideways. You do have some tricks up your sleeve, but it's still not enough. The Demon Crown Prince was only slightly moved, but he still did not take any action. At that moment, all the demons watching the battle were horrified. The combat strength of the two great demons in front of them made them feel like they were unreachable mountains. Be it the Demon Crown Prince or Xiao Han, they could easily unleash thousands of demonic techniques with a wave of their hands. The requirements for the demon body were too high. Just like the Demon Sword Emperor, he was considered a peak figure in the demon world. However, if he unleashed 100 demonic techniques at the same time, his demon body would definitely be torn apart and he would die from self-detonation. Now, the three demon emperors were communicating with each other in fear. Forget it, forget it. These two guys are too powerful. No matter which one of them wins and becomes the new demon god, he can lead us to counterattack the immortal world. Yes, let's not fight for the position of the new demon god anymore. Indeed, in terms of combat strength, these two can instantly kill us. It's a piece of cake. However, looking at the situation, the Demon Crown Prince has a higher chance of winning. Yes, every demonic technique that the Demon Crown Prince unleashed is extremely powerful. Actually, the difference in demonic power between these two guys isn't too big, but the quality of the demonic techniques they control is indeed a bit different. Boom! 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 Xiao Han's thousands of demonic techniques directly bombarded the wall of demonic aura. Then, puff! 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 Xiao Han's demonic techniques were instantly destroyed. They only left some shallow marks on the wall of demonic aura, but they definitely did not shake the wall at all. The wall of demonic aura continued to sweep over with the momentum of sweeping through the surroundings. It was going to crush Xiao Han alive. A huge sense of danger gripped Xiao Han's heart. My thousands of demonic techniques against this bastard's hundreds of demonic techniques, but it only caused a slight ripple? It's impossible to break this wall of demonic aura? Xiao Han completely understood the difference in the quality of demonic techniques. It was very obvious in a life-and-death battle. Ha ha ha, little wild demon, your life is at stake. Don't resist stubbornly anymore. Accept your death. Whoever goes against this crown prince, no matter immortal, human, or demon, must be exterminated. The demon crown prince was in high spirits as if he had everything under control. In the void, the immortal senses of the three high immortal emperors. Looks like our son is going to slaughter that filthy wild demon immediately. After all, he is our son. He has inherited our and Luo Xiang's bloodline. Ordinary wild demons can't compare to him. Indeed, we don't need to do anything. In terms of the quality of demonic techniques, our son is much better than them. Good. Our son will become the new generation of demon god. In the future, when the immortal nature in our son awakens, we can recognize him and tell him his true identity. He is not a demon but an immortal. Ha ha ha. Yes, if the Grand Mist Heavenly Emperor knows about this, it will be nothing. Let our son counterattack and eliminate the demon race. The contribution he has made is enough, enough. Ha ha ha. The demonic aura wall was getting closer and closer to Xiao Han. That terrifying pressure felt like the whole world was squeezing towards Xiao Han. It was less than 10 zhang away from Xiao Han. Xiao Han knew that once the demonic aura wall got close and attacked his body, he would definitely be crushed to death. However, Xiao Han had experienced countless life and death battles, and his will was simply like a sword that was sharp and flawless. Even in this moment of imminent danger, he still maintained his exuberant fighting spirit, his most calm attitude, and his viciousness that dared to fight and fight with his life on the line. Little bastard, it's not enough to kill me, Xiao Han. All of a sudden. Boom. In a breath, Xiao Han released thousands of demonic techniques. Boom. In another breath, Xiao Han released thousands of demonic techniques again. Boom. In the third breath, Xiao Han released thousands of demonic techniques again. Endless, seemingly endless demonic techniques burst out from Xiao Han's left arm demon emperor palm. Your demonic techniques are of high quality? Good. Then I will release tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of demonic techniques to fight with you. Countless demonic techniques, almost in a few breaths, were brewed and directly blasted towards the demonic aura wall. In a short period of time, so many demonic techniques burst out, causing the left arm demon emperor palm to be somewhat unable to bear it, and some cracks appeared. As for Xiao Han's body, it was also on the verge of collapse. The surface of his skin also began to crack. However, fighting to such a tragic point, Xiao Han did not hold back at all. Bang! Tens of thousands of demonic techniques in a few breaths, all attacked the demonic aura wall. R1152S. Chapter 754. The battle between Xiao Han and the Demon Crown Prince had reached an extremely tragic level. Indeed, the Crown Prince was even more difficult to deal with than Xiao Han had imagined. That was because the demonic techniques that the Crown Prince mastered were supreme demonic techniques that seized the fortune of heaven and earth. Under the situation where their demonic powers were almost the same, the Crown Prince relied on the supreme demonic techniques to suppress Xiao Han. However, Xiao Han's spirit was sharp, and the fighting spirit in his heart could not be extinguished. He fought back. In just a few breaths' time, tens of thousands of demonic arts had been unleashed, causing the left arm of the monarch beast left arm and Xiao Han's body to be unable to endure it. Cracks began to appear on their bodies as blood began to seep out from the cracks. However, the tens of thousands of demonic techniques also caused part of the demonic aura wall to collapse. The demonic aura wall was formed by hundreds of supreme demonic techniques. Now, hundreds of supreme demonic techniques were surrounded by tens of thousands of demonic techniques and caused the wall to collapse. If there were too many ants, they could also bite a giant elephant to death. That was the logic. What? Tens of thousands of demonic techniques in a few breaths. It's earth-shattering and earth-shattering. The surrounding demonic beasts were all shocked. What kind of demonic body is this? How can it be so powerful? It's simply unscrupulous to be able to support such a violent release of demonic techniques. How can his demonic body not collapse with such a burst of demonic techniques? This wild demon is indeed powerful. He has the ability to fight against the Crown Prince. While the demonic beasts were discussing, the Crown Prince's eyes quickly shot out a demonic and vicious light. Shut up. What right does this wild demon have to fight against me? The position of the new generation of demon gods. It can only belong to me. This world is too boring. I just need some dolls to play with. Die. Let me see how many times you can release demonic techniques like this. How many times can you release them? What an idiot. When the demonic aura wall was about to completely collapse, the Demon Crown Prince waved his hand again. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of supreme demonic techniques were released again, repairing the demonic aura wall that was about to collapse. Like a primordial demonic mountain, it pressed down on Xiao Han. However, the continuous release of demonic techniques also made the Crown Prince a little weak. Beads of sweat seeped out, but the Demon Crown Prince's demonic power evaporated these imperceptible beads of sweat. Hong, the demonic chi wall pressed down again, wanting to crush Xiao Han into pieces. Xiao Han's body, tall and straight like a sword. In his eyes, the battle intent had already risen to the extreme. Xiao Han didn't care at all. Within a few breaths, he unleashed tens of thousands of demonic techniques, bombarding the wall of demonic chi. Pooh, pooh, pooh. The cracks on the left arm demon Thearcha's palm and body spread and widened. More blood was shed. But Xiao Han's face was fierce and cold, as if he was fighting with his life on the line. The battle situation was getting more and more tragic. Demon Crown Prince, you will definitely die today. Xiao Han waved his hand. Once again the wall of demonic chi exploded. Before the Demon Crown Prince could continue releasing demonic techniques, Xiao Han took the initiative. Another tens of thousands of demonic techniques erupted, forming a demonic aura wall that pressed towards the Demon Crown Prince. Counterattack. After passively defending a few times, Xiao Han finally launched a powerful attack. In Xiao Han's eyes, there was no fear or apprehension, only a violent murderous intent. This kind of murderous intent was something the Demon Crown Prince had never seen before. The Demon Crown Prince realized that he was not facing an ordinary wild demon, but a primordial demon beast. In terms of aura, the Demon Crown Prince was instantly suppressed by Xiao Han. What? Yeah. The Demon Crown Prince quickly released demonic techniques to stop Xiao Han from releasing the demonic chi wall formed by tens of thousands of demonic techniques. However, under the situation where his aura was stolen, the power and quality of the demonic techniques released by the Demon Crown Prince were greatly reduced. Boom, boom, boom. The demonic techniques released by the Demon Crown Prince were unable to completely shatter the demonic chi wall. Instead, the demonic chi wall seemed to have locked the void and crushed inch by inch, emitting a thunderous sound that crushed towards the Demon Crown Prince. Demon Crown Prince, you bastard, go and die. Xiao Han laughed sinisterly. At this moment, under Xiao Han's gaze, the Demon Crown Prince actually had a feeling of not daring to look straight at him. In terms of aura, Xiao Han had actually defeated the Demon Crown Prince. The arrogance, superiority, and disdain on the Demon Crown Prince's face had all disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by fear, dread, apprehension, and even some fear. In fact, it was no wonder. Although the Demon Crown Prince had mastered many supreme demonic techniques, his growth experience was completely different from Xiao Han's. The Demon Crown Prince had been nurtured by Luo Xiang since he was born. He was carefully nurtured with all kinds of demonic pills. Then he tried everything to plant all kinds of supreme demonic technique seeds in the Demon Crown Prince's body, causing him to become an expert of the demon realm. Since the Demon Crown Prince's debut, he had experienced many battles. However, all of the battles were one-sided. They were all slaughtered. He had even killed many demons who had already surrendered. The Demon Crown Prince definitely did not have the experience of turning defeat into victory and seeking survival in the midst of death. Xiao Han, however, was completely different. Xiao Han was born as a living target. When he was in the mortal world, he was bullied and grew up in adversity. He roamed the demon metropolis, defeated all the outstanding talents in the Genius Zone, killed the immortals in the lower realm, and swept everything in the treasure of immortal Emperor Ju Dao. After arriving at the celestial world, he personally destroyed the #1 sect in the celestial world. It could be said that every battle of Xiao Han's was soul-stirring. This caused Xiao Han's fighting spirit and accumulation of battle experience to far surpass the Demon Crown Prince. Ha 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 ha. Xiao Han laughed wildly, his blood and chi surging to the sky. Demon Crown Prince, compared to me, you're like a good-for-nothing playboy. An existence like you can't defeat me. Let me slaughter you. Ah. Boom, boom, boom. While speaking, Xiao Han burst out tens of thousands of demonic techniques. They were added to the demonic chi wall, causing the demonic chi wall to simply cover the sky and earth, covering the sun and moon. At the same time, poof, 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 poof. Xiao Han's left demon emperor palm shattered into pieces, and blood also exploded from his body. Such a high-intensity demonic technique was indeed self-damaging for Xiao Han. However, Xiao Han would never give up on killing the Demon Crown Prince. His only thought was to kill them all. No. You lowly wild demon. The Demon Crown Prince's mind was taken away, and he was actually unable to resist Xiao Han's attack. Deep in his heart, the shadow of failure had been born. A huge crack had already appeared in his demon heart. If the battle continued, he would definitely be killed by Xiao Han. No. The pressure of the demonic chi wall caused the Demon Crown Prince to retreat again and again. His aura had weakened to the bottom, especially under the lock of Xiao Han's cold-killing intent. The Demon Crown Prince couldn't even use half of his usual strength. At this time in Xiao Han's heart, the Demon God's will was transmitted. The Demon God's will let out a sneer, and there was also a hint of praise. Good, good, kill this guy. Kill. The Demon Crown Prince is going to die. On the Demon Ceiling Mountain, the group of demons burst out with horrified roars. They never thought that the Demon Crown Prince would lose. Moreover, it was very likely that he would die now. In the void, the three immortal senses also began to squirm. Damn it. Our child is in a disadvantageous situation. Make your move. Wait a little longer. If we act rashly, we will also fall into danger. Make your move. At worst, we will lose our immortal senses, but we must save our child. In this life, we have cultivated the immortal Tao, and we have not given birth to children in the immortal world. Although the Demon Crown Prince's background is a little awkward, he is after all our only blood. Forget it, we only came here with immortal senses, so we don't have the ability to help our child directly kill that wild demon. Therefore, my plan is to condense all the energy of the three immortal senses and save our child. Good. That's it. As long as there is life, there is hope. However, just when the three immortal senses were about to make their move, in an extremely distant place, a series of obscure ancient demon language was transmitted to the demon sealing mountain. This ancient demon language was uttered by a woman. Every word was round and bright, with a kind of bone-deep charm, making people willing to die and have their bones crushed. Moreover, it also carried the power of the ancient demon technique. Bah, 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 bah. A string of ancient demon language. With every word, Xiaohan took a step back, and with every step back he spat out a mouthful of blood. His demonic chi wall was also completely broken. The primordial demon language instantly boosted the demon crown prince, who was retreating in defeat. At this moment, the demon crown prince not only regained his fighting spirit and momentum, but also burst out a kind of power that should not have belonged to him. The demon crown prince straightened his back, and the demonic chi all over his body was like the sun in the sky. His voice also became muffled. Wild demon, this time, you will die without a burial place. Ancient demon power. The purest ancient demon power. On the demon sealing mountain, thousands of demons roared. At this moment, a trace of uncontrollable killing intent appeared in Xiaohan's eyes. That demonic woman is here to help her son. Damn it. This demonic woman is the culprit who besieged and killed Absolute Saber's master. Bah, 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 bah. The demon crown prince walked towards Xiaohan step by step, and everywhere he passed, everything collapsed. The battle suddenly turned around. From the current situation, Xiaohan almost did not have any power to resist the ancient demon power emitted by the demon crown prince. At this moment, brat, it's that bitch Luo Xiang who used an ancient demon treasure. With your strength you won't be able to block it, he. But, I can help you, but you have to swear to become my follower. That way I can bestow upon you the power of eternity, ha ha ha. The demon god in Xiaohan's heart let out a strange laughter as it negotiated with Xiaohan. Xiaohan did not fall for it at all, and communicated with the demon god with his thoughts. Forget it, why should I swear to become your follower? Luo Xiang? That must be your beloved concubine, but I heard that she had an affair with a few immortal emperors and gave birth to this bastard. Bastard, the demon god is known as the strongest creature in the heavens, but he was also cuckolded and became a tortoise, ha ha. Roar? Shut up. Forget it. I will give you the power now. Kill them for me immediately. Kill them all. Leave no bones behind. The demon god seemed to be enraged and roared crazily. To be continued. Chapter 755. The battle between Xiaohan and the demon prince was indeed full of ups and downs, full of all kinds of twists and turns. First, the demon prince relied on the supreme demonic technique to suppress Xiaohan. Then Xiaohan used the undefeatable faith and fighting spirit that he had honed for many years to suppress the demon prince, causing the demon prince to have less than 50% of his strength. Just as the demon prince was about to be killed by Xiaohan, the demons thought that the new generation of demon god would fall on the head of the wild demon, Xiaohan. A shocking change happened again. The demon crown prince's mother had used an ancient demonic treasure from afar to enhance the demon crown prince's body with the ancient demonic power of a supreme being. An ancient demonic power that did not belong to the demon prince was possessed. At this moment, the demon prince's exhausted demonic heart was restored, and he re-established his invincible belief. He felt a destructive power flowing in his body, making him believe that at this moment, he was the invincible demon god. Everything that stood in his way would be blasted into smithereens. Wild demon, you're just an ant. I'll crush you to death. Ah! The demon prince burst into a low, muffled laughter. Bah, 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 bah. The demon prince walked in the void, and a powerful wave of power spread out, causing the entire demon sealing mountain to tremble and float, as if it was about to collapse. The ancient demon mountain was about to be destroyed by the demon prince's aura alone. Ah, ancient demonic power. Legend has it that it's the most ancient and great demonic power. This demonic power contains a trace of the demon god's will. Run. The demon prince received the blessing of the ancient demonic power. It will destroy the world. It will burst out with the power to destroy the world. That wild demon. He's about to be killed by the demon prince. All of a sudden, the demons on Demon Sealing Mountain all believed that there was no longer any suspense in this battle. The demon crown prince would kill Xiaohan. Then the beasts all released their demonic energy and flew off in all directions, leaving Sealing Mountain. They floated in the surrounding void and watched the battle from afar. As they fled, they begged or swore loyalty to the demon prince. "Your Highness, you can control the ancient demonic power. Then you're destined to be the future demon god. We're all willing to submit to you. Your Highness, please allow us to temporarily fly away from the demon Sealing Mountain so that you can kill this wild demon to your heart's content. Your Highness, after you kill this wild demon, we'll hold a ceremony for you to be crowned, even the demon sword." Man Mountain, the 3 demon emperors and 3 demon emperors had submitted. Those old demons who originally wanted to stir up trouble also bowed at the feet of the demon crown prince. The demon Sealing Prince laughed strangely and didn't kill An and escape demon clan of Mountain. Only Xiaohan was left on the huge Sealing Demon Mountain, demon emperor of the demon emperors and An and only emperor of An and only demon and An and only one of and only and was An and prince of. And An was. An was of An and had was. Let's leave quickly. If we don't leave now, I'm afraid, it'll be too late. That lord is indeed brave, but the situation can't be reversed. The demon prince is already invincible in the demon world. Nothing can stop him anymore. The new generation of demon god is already very obvious. We should also submit. The sky feather demon monarch shivered. He was now faced with a very difficult choice. If he chose to betray Xiaohan, then as Xiaohan's lackey, he might be killed by the demon prince in the future. However, if he insisted on standing behind Xiaohan, the current situation would be disadvantageous. Wait a little more. Demon Emperor Tianyu was sweating profusely. In the void, the immortal senses of the 3 high-rank immortal emperors. Just when the 3 high-rank immortal emperors were about to use their immortal force to save the demon prince, Luo Xiang made her move. The 3 high-rank immortal emperors immediately held back. "Luo Xiang, make your move, our son is worryless. The new generation of demon god is about to be born. I didn't expect that the new demon god of the immortal world and the demon world, after fighting for so long, would actually be our son. The world is really unpredictable. But don't let your guard down too much. Let's also keep a close eye on him and not let any accidents happen." At this moment Xiaohan, in fact before Xiaohan fought with the demon prince, he already had some plans in his heart. One must know that Xiaohan was not a person who only charged forward and attacked fiercely. Xiaohan also knew some strategies and he would make his move after planning. Xiaohan knew that the demon prince had a trump card. For example, the demon god's beloved concubine and the 3 high-rank immortal emperors. Xiaohan's plan was to directly provoke the demon god when the battle took an unexpected turn and let the demon god make his move. It was impossible for the demon god not to make his move. First, the demon god had not truly fallen. Therefore, whoever dared to fight for the position of the new demon god would be usurping the position. This was something the demon god would never allow. Second, the demon god's beloved concubine had an affair with an immortal and gave birth to a bastard. This was simply a living cuckold. Not to mention the demon god, even if it was any weak man, he would jump to take revenge. Therefore, Xiaohan predicted that the demon god would make his move. As expected, after the demon god proposed conditions to Xiaohan, Xiaohan directly ignored it and then crazily provoked the demon god. This made the demon god go crazy. Completely crazy. All of this was within Xiaohan's calculations. However, the only thing that Xiaohan did not expect was that the demon god did not make his move himself. Instead, he passed a wave of power to Xiaohan. He wanted to use Xiaohan to get rid of the demon prince. "I will grant you supreme power. My power is enough to destroy the entire demon world. With your body, it is not enough to bear all of my power. No, even 1/10 of my power is completely unbearable. Therefore, I will give you a little bit of power. Ah, your body is not bad. I don't want to make it explode. Just a bit of power. Remember, this bit of power is also very domineering and explosive. Therefore, I don't want to make your body explode. You only have 10 breaths of time. You only have 10 breaths of time to use this strand of power. Moreover, when this strand of power dissipates, your body will show signs of collapse. Yes, power. Accept this seat's power." Suddenly, boom, a mushroom cloud directly rose from Xiaohan's body. In the violent mushroom cloud, there was a power that could destroy everything. Densely packed ancient demon characters blossomed. There seemed to be countless ancient giant demons meditating and chanting devoutly. Worship. A kind that commanded tens of thousands of demons in the demon world. Even an aura that caused all the worlds to worship was released. The demon prince's body suddenly froze. The ancient demon power in his body suddenly stiffened. The demon prince's expression was extremely strange, and then he couldn't help but tremble. And all the demons around the demon sealing mountain, one by one, uncontrollably knelt in the direction of Xiao Han. The three groups of immortal senses in the void. This power is so familiar. This is not good. Save our child. This seems to be the power of that demon god. Demon god temple. Luo Xiang's face became extremely distorted. Is it him? Is he back? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. He has been sealed by the group of immortals. Moreover, he abandoned his body and injected his divine soul into the egg of the cosmic giant beast. He can't come back. Child? Luo Xiang roared. Child. Mother is coming to save you. At this moment, the cracks on Xiao Han's left demon emperor palm had been repaired. The injuries on his body had also been healed. Moreover, there was a powerful evil and supreme power injected into his body. This power was greater than billions of divine mountains. This power was deeper than billions of oceans. This power was more majestic than the heavens. This power was more resplendent than the galaxy. This power was more evil than 10,000 demons. This power was more overbearing than a sovereign king. This power, sweep. Ruler. Exterminate. Create. Roar. Xiao Han burst out with a violent roar. Buff, 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 buff. With a roar, the demon-sealing mountain collapsed into dust. In all directions, the void was shaken by the roar and immediately burst open. The densely packed demons with lower cultivation bases were shattered. Although some of the demons with higher cultivation bases did not shatter into pieces, shocking cracks had appeared on their bodies. However, Xiao Han's control over this ancient power that didn't belong to him was still a bit shaky. When he roared, he barely managed to protect Demon Emperor Skyfeather and the others on Demon Sealing Mountain so they didn't shatter. Then, damn, this power is not easy to control. Forget it, 10 breaths. A few breaths have passed, I must hurry up. Demon Crown Prince, I will crush you to death. The mushroom cloud dispersed and Xiao Han directly grabbed towards the Demon Crown Prince. A terrifying afterimage flashed and the space was shattered like a piece of glass. Shattered. The aftermath of the attack caused the surface of the Demon Crown Prince's body to shatter like tofu. Ah. Mother, save me. The Demon Crown Prince burst out a heart-wrenching scream. At the same time, wild demon. Don't be so arrogant. Puff. In the void, 3 groups of immortal senses completely condensed together and formed a jade-colored immortal hand. There were countless immortal runes lingering on it and it directly grabbed towards Xiao Han's sky-covering demon hand. In addition, in a faraway place, child, mother will not let you die. Boom, a fair jade-like hand grabbed over. This jade-like hand was also steaming with terrifying demonic power, as if it could destroy everything. Boom. Xiao Han's sky-covering demon hand, the immortal hand formed by the immortal senses of the 3 high-rank immortal emperors and Luo Xiang's jade-like hand directly collided. With this collision, 3 kinds of powerful forces directly exploded together. Puff, puff. The immortal hand shattered. The jade-like hand exploded. However, Xiao Han's sky-covering demon hand also lost a portion of its demonic power. However, the sky-covering demon hand only slowed down slightly and directly slapped on the Demon Crown Prince's body. Puff. The Demon Crown Prince's body was like an eggshell. It exploded into pieces. Under the bombardment of the sky-covering demon hand, it directly shattered into nothingness. However, when the Demon Crown Prince was slapped to death, the power of the sky-covering demon hand was instantly exhausted. 10 breaths of time was up. After the power dissipated, as expected, Xiao Han's entire body surged with a sense of exhaustion. He directly took a dozen steps back with a pale face. Lord. The Sky Feather Demon, the Arch, and the others immediately rushed forward and supported Xiao Han. At this moment, the demon body of the Demon Crown Prince had completely disappeared. A seed directly rose from the place where his body disappeared and in a flash, it directly flew in the direction of the Demon God Palace. To be continued? Chapter 756. After a trace of the Demon God's power was attached to his body, Xiao Han finally killed the demon prince who was blessed with the power of the ancient demon treasure. The power of the demon god is enough to destroy the world. TSK. Xiao Han gasped. If it's the power of the demon god at its peak, I'm afraid it won't be as simple as killing the demon prince. But now Xiao Han was extremely exhausted. He kept retreating and was supported by Demon Monarch Tianyu and the others. Now, demon monarch Tianyu and the others already regarded Xiaohan as a god. The power Xiaohan used just now was extremely terrifying. It shocked the hearts of these demons and made them surrender. Although most of the demons didn't know the source of the power Xiaohan controlled, it didn't matter. All the demons understood. This was the power of the future demon god. This was the greatest power of the demon race. This was enough to reverse the situation in the immortal world. Lord Demon God. Greetings, Lord Demon God. In all directions of the dilapidated demon sealing mountain, the sound of worshipping filled the air. It was the sound of blind allegiance. My Lord. The sky feather demon monarch stammered as his body shivered. From now on you are the demon god. The ruler of the demon race. The king of the world. Let's go back to your city first. Xiaohan's face was pale. I need to meditate and recuperate. Yes, yes. Immediately demon monarch Tianyu read from all directions. He gathered some demon beasts and a golden chariot. He put Xiaohan on the chariot and directly returned to demon monarch Tianyu's city. Behind him, the densely packed demon clan followed, bowing and scraping. Xiaohan didn't care about the outside world. He focused on recuperating. Demon Qi flowed on the palm of the demon monarch Tianyu's left arm and began to recover. At the same time, his divine soul looked inside. He saw that at this moment, the demon god was no longer shocked and no longer transmitted thoughts. Xiaohan's heart was blocked again. However, vaguely. Xiaohan felt. The demon god seemed to be refining something. Is it refining the energy of the demon river? Xiaohan's heart gradually turned cold. Then Xiaohan's heart became colder and colder. Oh no. No. The power of the demon god. He was recovering faster and faster. Back then. After the demon god's soul and the egg fused into my heart, they were like a pool of stagnant water. Can't change any of my thoughts at all. Then, the demon god's soul seemed to have become stronger and stronger, and it could transmit its will to me. Now, the demon god's soul can borrow my hand and use a part of its power. In this case, the demon god's soul is probably close to taking over my body. Xiaohan's heart felt as if it had fallen to the bottom of a valley. No. I must think of a way to reverse this defeat. Xiaohan will not sit and wait for death. I can't let the demon gods devour my soul and occupy my body. Immortal world. At the intersection of the immortal realm and the Yao realm, the origin energy of the universe ran amok. 3 high-rank immortal emperors, Pu. The 3 high-tier immortal emperors spurted out blood at the same time. Their faces that were brimming with vitality turned pale in an instant. Moreover, within the paleness there was palpitation, malevolence, anger, and a trace of fear. Our children were killed by that wild demon. Damn it. Our immortal consciousnesses were also destroyed. Even our real bodies were affected. Don't be impatient. Our child's physical body was destroyed, but a trace of his divine soul was brought back by Luo Xiang. I believe that Luo Xiang will definitely think of a way to revive our child. However, the power that killed our child seemed to be the power of a demon god. The power of the demon gods that swept through both the immortal and Yao realms in the past. Could it be that the demon gods have returned? Impossible. The demon gods lost their physical bodies and attached their souls to an egg. We sealed the egg. The demon gods must have perished. There's no way they can be revived. Could it be that the wild demon obtained a treasure left behind by the demon gods? No matter what, the wild demon has killed our child and seized the position of the new demon gods. He will definitely plot a counterattack against the immortal world. We can't sit and wait for death. Back then we were concerned about our child. After all, the position of the new Yao god was already set in stone, and it should belong to our child. That's why we endured and didn't completely destroy the Yao realm. But now the situation has changed. We can't remain silent any longer. Let's break this stalemate and avenge our child. Alright. We'll issue an order to the immortal world in our names. War? We need war. We must wage war against the Yao realm. We must destroy the Yao realm. Kill that wild demon. Alright. Issue the order. Gather all the immortals and immortal emperors. Summon the hidden immortal emperors to form an army and march against the Yao realm. There's no time to lose. We must destroy the wild demon before his wings are fully formed. We can't give him a chance to unify the Yao realm. In the past, the Yao realm was a motley crew of loose sand, nothing to worry about. But now that they have a new leader, they're a force that can't be ignored. We can't give them that chance. In an instant, the deep and desolate voices of the 3 high-rank immortal emperors echoed across every inch of the immortal world. Immortals, the human race and the Yao realm have been at war for generations. Before that, we sacrificed the lives of countless young immortals to seal the demon gods and obtain peace and stability. But now the Yao realm is on the move again. They have elected a new demon god and are about to launch a counterattack against the immortal world. We don't want to see our people destitute. We have the responsibility to fight. We will march straight into the Yao realm and destroy the Yao realm. Our army will enter the Yao realm and wipe out the Yao realm. Perhaps a large number of immortals will give up their lives, but for the sake of future peace so that our human race will no longer be invaded by the evil Yao realm, we have no reason to retreat. Even if we die, we have no regrets. The righteous voices spread across the immortal world, causing the blood of countless immortals to boil with excitement. Some of the immortal emperors who lived in seclusion came out. The atmosphere in the immortal world was tense. A war was about to break out. The Yao realm. The Yao God Palace. At this moment, Luo Xiang also had a dispirited expression. Just now, she had exchanged a palm strike with Xiao Han, causing her to be heavily injured. Luo Xiang's heart skipped a beat. That's his power. Did he return to the Yao realm? But that's impossible. Judging from his domineering attitude, once he returns he will definitely start a massacre in the immortal world and he will come to kill me. No. Furthermore, the power he displayed is many times weaker than before. It seems that the wild demon obtained some of the treasures he left behind. At that moment, a wisp of soul seed circled around Luo Xiang like a will-the-wisp and let out a venomous voice. Mother, save your child. Your child's physical body has been completely destroyed. Your child can't resist that power. That wild demon can't possibly have such power. Your child can't accept this. Your child must take revenge. Your child must tear that wild demon into 1,000 pieces. It was the voice of the demon prince. Then, the wisp of soul seed began to wriggle and transform into a face. It was the face of the demon prince and it looked very ferocious. Sighed, my child, your body is completely destroyed. Luo Xiang sighed softly. No, mother. You can definitely save me. Even if my body is destroyed, my wisp of divine soul hasn't completely dissipated. Mother can help me reconstruct my body. My child, after losing your body, your divine soul won't be able to exist in this world for long. Without the support of a body, your divine soul will quickly wither. Luo Xiang said with melancholy. No, mother. You can choose a new body for me. The demon prince's divine soul let out a horrified wail, as if he was very afraid that his divine soul would dissipate. My child, your body is very powerful. It's a rare demon body in the entire demon world. Only the most powerful body can host your divine soul. A weak body can't bear your divine soul at all and it will explode and shatter. Now, in the entire demon world, even in the entire immortal world, there's no body to host your divine soul. Strangely, Luo Xiang's voice suddenly became calm. This calmness made people feel fear and their scalps tingle. No. Mother. If I can't find a body to host my divine soul, will my divine soul be annihilated? No. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I still want to unify the immortal world and the demon world, and fulfill my great ambition. The demon prince let out a hysterical roar. My child, calm down first. Luo Xiang said calmly, now there's only one way to save my child and let my child return to the world. Mother, what is it? What is it? Now, no matter what it is, I'm willing to try it. Use the method used by the demon god in the past. At this moment, Luo Xiang's eyes flashed with a strange luster. At that time, the demon god had great willpower, destroyed his own body, and hosted his divine soul in an egg of a cosmic giant beast, in an attempt to hatch it. Once it hatches, it will be the most terrifying creature in the universe. And this kind of cosmic giant beast's egg. There are a total of 2, Luo Xiang said calmly with a voice that was almost perverted. At that time, the demon god hatched one of them, and the other egg of the cosmic giant beast was hidden by me. The demon god hatched the male egg and the remaining one is the female egg. To be continued. Chapter 757. Child, the only way to let you return to the world now is to imitate the demon god's method. Place your divine soul in an egg of a giant cosmic beast. Hatch it. Hatch it. However, this egg of a giant cosmic beast is female. As she spoke, Luo Xiang's bewitching eyes shone with a sinister light. There was also a hint of heat and ambition in her eyes. A female egg. Mother, this. The demon prince was a little confused. Child, listen to your mother, Luo Xiang said seriously. Because your demon body is too strong, there is no physical body in the world that can place your divine soul. Child, your background is very complicated. You are destined to be strong and extraordinary from the moment you are born. Now, the only thing that can place your divine soul in is the egg of a giant cosmic beast. This giant cosmic beast is called Heaven-Devouring Beast. In the past, Lord Demon God used supreme divine abilities and demon techniques to understand this universe. In this universe, the lowest level is the mortal world. There are humans in the mortal world and there are also us demons, but we all have the lowest bloodline. Then there is the upper realm, the demon realm, the immortal realm. So, is the upper realm the whole universe? Actually, it is not. Outside the immortal realm and the demon realm is a chaotic universe. In the universe, there is chaotic energy, many celestial bodies, and also the demon realm and the immortal realm like us. However, there. Read. XSTXT in the boundless universe, there were many other races. There are the insect clan monsters. However, these races are far less powerful than us demons and immortals. However, there is a type of giant beast. Heaven-Devouring Beast. But it is the most powerful existence in the universe. The heaven-devouring beast can devour heaven and earth, and its physical body is simply invincible. Even Lord Demon God couldn't kill a heaven-devouring beast. Fortunately, this kind of heaven-devouring beast is very rare, and its intelligence is very low. Otherwise, the ones to rule this universe wouldn't be immortals, nor would it be the demons. The demon god's ambition is very great. He was inspired to become the most powerful existence in the universe. Therefore, he worked hard all his life, constantly searching in the universe. After many disasters, he finally found 2 eggs of the heaven-devouring beast. 1 female and 1 male. These 2 eggs. He was brought back to the demon realm by the demon god. After all, the intelligence of a heaven-devouring beast is extremely low. Thus, the demon god came up with a solution, and that was to destroy his own body and then seep his soul into the egg of the heaven-devouring beast. It devoured the extremely low divine soul. This way, when it hatched, it would have the intelligence and soul of a Yao god, and the invincible body of a heaven-devouring beast. The various demonic arts of the demon gods would also be inherited by the heaven-devouring beast. In this way, the most invincible existence in the universe will be born. No one can defeat this monster. It can swallow the entire immortal world in one go. Right now, the Yao god has used a male heaven-devouring beast egg, leaving behind a female egg. I don't have the courage to abandon my body. Furthermore, even if I use my divine soul to enter the egg, I don't have enough power to hatch it. Now that your physical body has been destroyed, you can make use of this female heaven-devouring beast egg. However, there are 2 things that are very important right now. Firstly, if you hatch the egg of a female heaven-devouring beast, you'll become a woman. Secondly, the process of hatching an egg requires too much energy. What? Mother, I'll become a woman? For a moment, the demon crown prince was a little confused. Then, no. How can I become a woman? Mother. This is absolutely impossible. The demon crown prince yelled. Indeed, for a handsome man to become a woman, this was indeed something that could not be accepted. Shut up. Luo Xiang reprimanded sternly. Do you want to die or be reborn? If you want your soul to dissipate, just pretend that I never said this. The demon crown prince was stunned. Mother, other than this method is there no other way? The demon crown prince's voice trembled in fear. However, Luo Xiang's voice was very cold. Either you take a risk and attach your divine soul to this female heaven-devouring beast egg and change your sex, or you die. Apart from this, there is no third possibility. Ah. The demon crown prince screamed like a wounded and dying beast. Son, think about it yourself. Live or die. Luo Xiang said indifferently. After dozens of breaths, a wisp of the demon crown prince's divine soul burst out with a mournful voice. Mother, I am willing to live. Of course I am willing to live. Even if I become a woman, I will live. Roar. Wild demon. I must kill you. I must tear you into pieces. It was you who forced me into such a situation. It was you who put me in a dead end. Roar. I will definitely kill you. All right, child, don't be weak and useless barking here, Luo Xiang scolded. Perhaps this is a blessing in disguise. Child, once your soul seeps into the egg of the female heaven-devouring beast and hatches, your fleshly body will be invincible, and you'll be a terrifying creature that can devour the universe. Most frightening of all is that you'll possess extremely high intelligence, and you'll be able to inherit your current thoughts and demonic arts. The wish that the demonic god was unable to fulfill back then might be fulfilled by you, child. Child, you'll be able to rule the world and become invincible throughout the universe. The demon crown prince's noisy barking subsided. He seemed to have completely accepted the reality. Mother, once I succeed, will I really be invincible? Can I kill that wild demon? But that wild demon seems to control some of the demon god's power. I'm afraid. There's nothing to doubt. Once you succeed, that wild demon will die no matter where he comes from. Child, you can easily crush him. Even if Lord Demon God is reborn, he will not be a match for you. Luo Xiang was very sure. That's great. The demon crown prince said excitedly, then paused. However, mother, even if my divine soul can seep into the female heaven-devouring beast egg, the incubation process will be very long. Moreover, it needs too much energy to hatch. The demon god's plan failed. It was sealed by the immortals before it hatched. I'm afraid it was stuck because it didn't have enough energy during the incubation process. Now, if I want to hatch it, the energy is a problem. As for the energy for the incubation, mother will think of a way. Now, child, your divine soul rest first. Tomorrow, mother will personally protect you and let your divine soul fuse into the female heaven-devouring beast egg. After saying that, Luo Xiang activated her demon power, wrapped the demon crown prince's divine soul, and then left. Humph! There are 2 eggs of the heaven-devouring beast. This is the greatest secret of the immortal realm and the monster realm. Luo Xiang stood at the edge of the cliff, her clothes fluttering in the wind, as if she was about to fly away. Only the demon god and I know this secret. Even the immortals don't know. Lord Demon God used his great demon power to conceal the aura of the 2 heaven-devouring beast eggs. Now, the only one left is the female heaven-devouring beast egg. For my child. For my child. However, the energy needed for the incubation is indeed a huge problem. Without a particularly powerful energy, it will take billions of years for the egg to hatch. That's too long. By then, even the universe will be destroyed and my child won't be reborn. Luo Xiang began to ponder. Her enchanting eyes flickered with the luster of many crafty plots and schemes. Finally, let's do it this way. Luo Xiang seemed to have come up with a plan. Soon, Luo Xiang turned around and entered the monster god palace. Luo Xiang walked through the corridors and finally arrived at an extremely secret side hall. The hall was filled with an aura that had been sealed for a long time. A treasure chest was placed at the center. On the surface of the treasure chest, there was some special energy that was sealed. Luo Xiang walked over and opened the treasure chest with a wave of her hand. Inside was a shiny white egg. The egg was only about a meter long. The surface of the eggshell was covered with some cloud patterns. On the surface of the eggshell, there were many demon race inscriptions that formed a seal that sealed the aura of the egg. However, one could still vaguely sense a monstrous and invincible aura from the egg. Suddenly, Luo Xiang's entire body surged with a whirlpool-like demonic aura, and within this demonic aura was an indescribable spatial energy. Soon after, Luo Xiang concentrated her attention and used her demonic energy that contained the power of space to carve on the surface of the eggshell. Each stroke seemed to consume a great deal of Luo Xiang's demonic qi. Gradually, a space formation took shape on the surface of the eggshell. The space formation was extremely profound and mysterious. It was like a vortex. After completing the space formation, Luo Xiang took out a voice transmission stone. You guys, do you want to save your child's life? Your child's body has been destroyed, leaving only a wisp of his divine soul. He will soon perish completely and cease to exist in the 3 realms and 5 elements. I know that although you guys are high-rank celestial emperors of the immortal world, you don't have any children. The demon crown prince is your only flesh and blood. Do you want to save your son now? Luo Xiang's voice was transmitted to the intersection between the demon realm and the immortal world through the voice transmission stone. The 3 high-rank celestial emperors circled around each other. A voice transmission stone appeared in the middle, and Luo Xiang's voice came out. What? Our son is going to perish? His divine soul is going to perish? Luo Xiang, you must think of a way to save our child. We can't let our child die. The 3 high-rank celestial emperors cried out. Of course, we will do our best to help our child revive. After all, this child has the genes of an immortal in his blood, so he isn't completely demonic. One day we might be able to wash away the demonic qi and demonic nature from his body and turn him into an immortal. Good. Since you have the heart to save your son, then listen to my instructions. I will set up a space teleportation formation in the immortal world. Command all the immortals to use their immortal weapons, artifacts, and immortal arts to attack the space teleportation formation. Luo Xiang's eyes flickered with excitement. To be continued? Chapter 758. In order to resurrect the Crown Prince, Luo Xiang had taken the initiative to communicate with her three lovers, the three advanced immortal emperors of the immortal world. Luo Xiang's plan was to set up a teleportation formation directly in the immortal world. Then all the immortals in the immortal world would use their power to attack the teleportation formation. Although Luo Xiang's voice was indifferent, her bewitching eyes were burning with excitement and evil demonic flames. On the other side of the sound transmission stone, the voices of the three high-grade celestial emperors were trembling and filled with doubt. Luo Xiang teleportation formation? What spatial array? But don't worry, we've already gathered the army of the immortal world to attack the demon realm. When the time comes, we'll definitely kill that wild demon and avenge our son. Of course, our son's soul hasn't perished yet, and we'll do everything in our power to bring him back to life. However, what exactly is up with that spatial formation? Shut up. Stop jabbering on and on. Luo Xiang coldly berated. Immediately after, he spoke in a tone that did not allow for any explanation. Don't be noisy. I have my own plans for the teleportation array. This is the only way to save your son. Otherwise your son will vanish into thin air. Let me tell all of you. Once my son dies, then I'll announce what happened between all of you and me to the immortal world. At that time, all of you will be utterly disgraced and won't be tolerated by the world. No. Luo Xiang, don't force us to read =do. This matter must not be told to anyone. Back then you also promised us that you would keep your mouth shut. That's why we forget it. To save our child. In that case, we didn't ask any more questions. I believe that you also want me to be reborn. After all, half of your blood is in me. The three high-ranked celestial emperors finally gave in. Luo Xiang nodded her head in satisfaction. In a few days I will bring this spatial transfer array to you. The projection reached the immortal world. Tell your immortal army not to attack the Yao realm for the time being. In short, you must think of a way to deceive the immortals of the immortal world about the teleportation array. Don't let them suspect anything. Moreover, you have to use supreme immortal energy to conceal yourself, so that the immortals won't be able to find any clues. All you need to know is one thing. Send all your attacks into the teleportation array. Don't stop. This was a teleportation array. It concerns the life and death of the demon crown prince and our common son. We can't be negligent. Dozens of breaths later, forget it. Luo Xiang will do as you say. However, that wild demon. Enough. That wild demon doesn't count for much. The power he released contained traces of a demon god, but it was definitely not a demon god. If a demon god had been reborn, the first thing it would have done would have been to kill us. After all, I had made a cuckold out of the monster god and he would not tolerate it. That wild demon had only obtained a trace of the demon god's power. He was nothing. As long as our son can be reborn, then killing that wild demon will be as easy as blowing off dust. Very well, let's let our son be reborn and kill that wild demon with his own hands, so that the inner demon in his heart will not be born. The call ended. Jie, my plan has almost succeeded. Son, you will definitely be resurrected. Luo Xiang gently closed the lid of the box that contained the egg of the heaven-devouring beast. He walked out. Xiao Han still did not know about Luo Xiang's plan to resurrect the demon prince. He was recuperating in the city where the Sky Feather Demon Monarch was. Now, the entire demon world and billions of demon clans had submitted to Xiao Han. They called Xiao Han the new generation of demon god. They worshipped him as their leader. However, as a human, Xiao Han did not bother to deal with these demon clans. He only sent some minions under the Sky Feather Demon Monarch, but perfunctorily dismissed the demons. Xiao Han even completely ignored the Sky Feather Demon Monarch, the Barbarian Mountain Emperor, and the Demon Sword Emperor. The demons were afraid of Xiao Han and did not dare to stay outside the Sky Feather Demon Monarch city. After flattering him for a while, they all retreated. In the palace of the Sky Feather Demon Monarch city, Xiao Han sat high up in the seat of honor. At this moment, Xiao Han's body was still a little weak. After borrowing a part of the demon god's power, Xiao Han was almost exhausted. If not for his strong foundation, it would not have been as simple as recuperating now. Damn, in order to kill the demon prince, I am also exhausted. Although the demon god's power is violent, the side effects are too great. Xiao Han was secretly resentful. Then he was very vigilant about the demon god's current state. When killing the demon prince, the demon god only added a trace of power to Xiao Han, which made him feel that this power was enough to destroy the world. Once the demon god recovered its power at its peak and even hatched the egg of the cosmic giant beast, then, oh no! With my strength I can't fight against the demon god at all. Xiao Han was very worried. Now that he looked inside his heart, he found that the demon god had completely concealed his aura. Xiao Han had no idea how the demon god was wreaking havoc in his heart. He only vaguely felt that the demon god was brewing and refining. No, I have to refine and control the magic treasure that Master left for me as soon as possible. I have to get the last move of the 100 Lives Saber Dao and kill the demon god's soul. Xiao Han's eyes were filled with determination. Then Xiao Han looked directly at the Sky Feather Demon Monarch. Sky Feather, Xiao Han said indifferently. Yes, yes, Lord. What can I do for you, Lord? The Sky Feather Demon Monarch immediately ran over, his face full of a flattering smile as if he could not wait to kneel down. Sky Feather, although I killed the Demon Prince, it seems that a trace of his divine soul escaped. Moreover, the Demon Prince also has a background and a backer. Xiao Han's eyes turned. In order to prevent the Demon Prince from making a comeback, and to eradicate the force behind the Demon Prince, I need to go into seclusion. Yes, yes, Lord, please go into seclusion, the Sky Feather Demon Monarch said hurriedly. I need an area where the energy does not leak, Xiao Han's eyes flashed. If he went into seclusion in the city of the Sky Feather Demon Monarch, refining the immortal weapon and the 100 Lives Saber Dao, the demon race would definitely notice. At that time, Xiao Han would also be in a passive situation. Therefore, Xiao Han needed an area where the energy was stable and would not leak. This? An area where the energy does not leak at all? The Sky Feather Demon Monarch was stunned and showed a thoughtful expression. Lord, you can go to the area where the demon realm and the universe intersect. That is the vast universe, a different world from the demon realm. Oh. Xiao Han was stunned. Yes. Lord, that place should be a special intersection point between the demon realm and the universe. A door. If you go into seclusion there, the energy will not leak to the demon realm. At that intersection point, there are only some weak zergs and cosmic life forms in the universe that will not threaten Lord. Unless it is a cosmic giant beast like the sky-swallowing beast. But the number of sky-swallowing beasts is very small, there are only a few of them in the entire universe. Lord should not encounter a sky-swallowing beast. The Sky Feather Demon Monarch said hurriedly. Sky-swallowing beast? Xiao Han was stunned. The Sky Feather Demon Monarch said in a low voice. Yes, Lord, the sky-swallowing beast. It was the strongest creature in the universe. Back then, the demonic god had found an egg of a heaven-devouring beast and tried to use it as a parasite. However, in the end, the demonic god had sealed it away. However, it was still a mystery whether or not heaven-devouring beasts still existed in the universe. I'm afraid that this heaven-defying cosmic creature has long been extinct. So this cosmic giant beast is called the sky-swallowing beast. Xiao Han nodded thoughtfully and then said decisively, All right, I will go to the intersection point of the demon realm and the universe and cultivate in seclusion. That way nothing will disturb me. Yes, yes, Lord. The next day, Luo Xiang walked toward the palace where the female sky-swallowing beast egg was secretly placed. A wisp of the demon crown prince's divine soul followed closely beside Luo Xiang. Mother, I feel that my divine soul is a little cold. It is much weaker than yesterday. Mother, it seems that if I don't find a body to parasitize soon, my divine soul will die. The demon crown prince's divine soul let out a frightened voice. All right, child, today I will let you parasitize the egg of the sky-swallowing beast. Luo Xiang's eyes were also filled with eagerness. Moreover, you don't have to worry about the energy needed to hatch the eggshell. I have my own ways. I can't wait anymore. What Lord Demon God failed to accomplish back then, I will accomplish with you. Child, you may become the strongest creature in the universe. This time, that wild demon destroyed your physical body, perhaps it was destroyed and rebuilt. Soon, Luo Xiang brought the demon crown prince to the palace. She opened the box. The egg of the sky-swallowing beast, whose aura was sealed by the power of the demon god, appeared. At this moment, a little closer to the egg of the sky-swallowing beast, one could feel the terrifying life fluctuations emanating from it. If there was no seal of the power of the demon god, perhaps this life fluctuation would spread to the entire demon realm and the immortal realm, causing a sensation. Child, let's begin. Burn your divine soul and let it seep into the eggshell. Fuse your divine soul with the life fluctuations in the egg. Luo Xiang said sternly. Forget it, mother, I have no choice. Suddenly, the demon crown prince's divine soul burst out with an incomparably bright light. Like a meteor crossing the sky. Pooh, the demon crown prince's divine soul directly rushed into the eggshell. The egg trembled slightly. Parasitism. The demon crown prince's divine soul was completely parasitized in the egg of the sky-swallowing beast. Now he needed enough power to hatch it. Once hatched, he would be the demon crown prince with the body of the sky-swallowing beast. He would be invincible in the universe. Rise? In the next moment, Luo Xiang waved her hand, and the spatial array she engraved on the surface of the sky-swallowing beast's eggshell suddenly glowed brightly and floated up. The spatial array changed into two. One still landed and attached to the surface of the eggshell, and the other flew directly to the immortal realm. There was a subtle spatial connection between these two spatial arrays. Although there were two, it seemed to be only one, inseparable from each other. At least, the two spatial arrays connected the eggshell and the immortal realm. I wish everyone a happy new year. In the new year, I sincerely hope that everyone is healthy, successful in their work and successful in their careers. Those who haven't found their other half, successfully find their other half and find happiness. Those who are still studying hope to be able to enter the school they like. Thank you for your support this year. Kata. To be continued. Chapter 759. Luo Xiang's plan to resurrect the demon prince had officially begun. This was the egg of the cosmic behemoth, the heaven-devouring beast. The female was the secret of both the immortal realm and the monster realm. The demon prince had already ignited his soul, pushing it to its limit. Then, his soul seeped into the egg and fused with the heaven-devouring beast's life force. The step was very smooth. First, although the heaven-devouring beast was the strongest creature in the universe, the egg had not hatched yet. The life force within it did not possess intelligence. It was like a child that could be easily tricked. Moreover, the heaven-devouring beast had extremely low intelligence even after it reached adulthood. It was a monster that only knew how to destroy and kill. It basically could not think, so it could be controlled before hatching. After the demon prince's soul was parasitized, it began to fuse with the heaven-devouring beast's life force. Now, the egg of the heaven-devouring beast had officially entered the incubation period. Luo Xiang had expended a lot of effort, expending her demonic energy and even her life force to engrave the mysterious spatial array on the surface of the egg, and it finally worked. The array was like a mirror with two sides but also one and the same. It's done? Luo Xiang stared at the teleportation formation in the palace. Her face was a little pale and exhausted, but she was excited. A strange and mysterious glint flickered in her demonic eyes, and her voice trembled uncontrollably. That's great. That was great. This plan, one that even the demon god failed to succeed in the past. Now I have a chance to complete it, with my son. To complete it in this universe. The greatest, the most outstanding plan. My son will sweep across the universe and conquer the universe. As she spoke, Luo Xiang's gaze fell on the glowing egg. Then she could not help but reach out her hand. Stroking the surface of the egg, she murmured, "Son, don't worry. Mother will definitely let you hatch successfully. You can help Mother realize the ambition that even the demon god failed to achieve." The Immortal Realm. Originally, the Immortal Realm army consisted of countless immortals, low-level and mid-level immortal emperors. The reclusive immortal emperors were summoned by the three high-level immortal emperors. They had already formed an army to march to the demon realm, vowing to flatten the demon realm. However, the three high-level celestial emperors suddenly changed their minds. They also ordered the army of the celestial realm to cancel the plan to conquer the monster realm. The three high-rank immortal emperors said repeatedly. The demon realm was no longer in a state of disunity. With the leadership of the new generation of demon gods, the defense of the entire demon realm was impregnable. Now was the time when the unity of the demon realm was at its strongest. If they attacked rashly, they would easily fall into a trap. One must know that launching a large-scale attack on the demon realm was a major event in the immortal world. However, the three high-rank immortal emperors seemed like they were playing a game. The high-spirited immortals who were ready to die were a little stunned. It was even to the extent that voices of dissatisfaction arose throughout the immortal dimension. At this moment, the three high-rank immortal emperors were in a terrible predicament. They were the ones who incited the immortals to prepare to attack the Yao realm, and now they were the ones who requested to cancel the attack. In just a few days he had changed his mind repeatedly. At the intersection of the world of immortals and Yao. Right now the immortal world is quite dissatisfied with our rule. So, we can't care so much. We must support Luo Xiang's plan. Otherwise, if she reveals us, we will no longer have a place in the immortal world. We can only wander the universe, Luo Xiang is about to place a spatial teleportation formation in our immortal world. What we should consider now is how to conceal this spatial teleportation formation and lure everyone in the immortal world to attack it. This plan concerns whether our son can reincarnate or not. It is not a small matter. We must cooperate with Luo Xiang. It is said that once our son is reincarnated, his strength will reach an unimaginable realm. The three high-rank immortal emperors fell into a state of deep thought. Finally, the spatial teleportation formation that Luo Xiang placed appeared in the sky above the immortal world. It was like a wriggling black hole. This spatial teleportation formation was originally set up with demon race runes. However, when it appeared in the sky above the immortal world, it became densely covered with immortal characters. It was actually disguised as an immortal formation. All the immortals in the immortal world saw this spatial teleportation formation. They were all stunned. What formation is this? Why did it appear so suddenly? The person who set up this formation is definitely not someone to be trifled with. The power and profundity it contains must be at least at the level of an immortal emperor to be able to set it up so easily. Yes. This formation seems to have a great and indescribable fluctuation of the profound mysteries of space. It seems like there is another universe within the formation. There are traces of the principles of the great Tao. Great. It is absolutely great. A reclusive intermediate immortal emperor. His cultivation was also considered to be ridiculously strong. He said directly, "With my strength and means, I can't set up this spatial teleportation formation." All the immortals in the immortal world guessed that this spatial teleportation formation was set up by the three high-rank immortal emperors, or even the greatest immortal emperor of primordial chaos. At the intersection of the immortal world and the demon world, the spatial teleportation formation is here. Luo Xiang's spatial teleportation formation is here. In an instant, the three high-rank immortal emperors discovered it. Then, they released their immortal senses to investigate the spatial teleportation formation. This is too miraculous. Luo Xiang's strength is indeed comparable to ours. She was actually able to set up such a flawless spatial formation. Furthermore, Luo Xiang is using demonic power to forcibly imitate immortal power and a demonic spell formation. On the surface, it looks like a glittering immortal spell formation. Even an ordinary intermediate immortal emperor wouldn't be able to see through this demonic array. However, for the sake of safety, let's release our immortal chi to conceal the demonic aura of this demonic array. There are no traces to be found. During the conversation, three high-grade immortal emperors. He personally injected his own immortal power into the demon array hovering above the immortal world. Pure immortal power filled the surface of the demon array. As a result, not only did the demonic formation not leak any demonic aura, but it also contained the source aura of the three high-tier immortal emperors. As a result, it's the aura of three high-tier immortal emperors. I feel it. It was the aura of three high-rank immortal emperors. That's right. Our guess is correct. This spell formation is created by the paragons of the immortal world, the three high-grade immortal emperors. They set it up personally. Immediately, some immortals in the immortal world spread the news. Even some low-tier immortal emperors and mid-tier immortal emperors came to the same conclusion. Just as the immortals were discussing the matter, the ancient and authoritative voices of the three high-tier immortal emperors echoed in the sky, silencing all the discussions in the immortal world. Every immortal in every corner of the immortal world fell silent. They were all ears. Everyone in the immortal world. Previously we wanted to lead you directly into the Yao realm. However, we cancelled the plan at the last minute. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions about this change. We understand your eagerness to flatten the Yao realm. That's right, the war between the immortal world and the Yao realm has gone on for too long. It's time to wipe out the filthy, evil creatures known as the Yao clan. And wipe them out. However, we don't have much of an advantage in this war. Our immortal senses have sensed that the new generation of Yao immortals has immense demonic power. If we attack recklessly, we'll suffer great losses. We, the three high-tier immortal emperors, don't want to see you fall either. Therefore, we've come up with a compromise. We've personally set up a spatial formation. This spatial formation has two sides. What you're seeing now is the Yang side of the formation, which is in the immortal world. The Yin side of the formation is in the Yao realm. Now, everyone's attacks will be directed to the Yang side. Then, the spatial formation will project everyone's attacks from the Yin side untouched. The Yin side is in the Yao realm. This way, everyone's attacks will be directed to the Yao realm. This way we don't have to risk our lives to kill our way into the Yao realm. We only need to launch our attacks here, and we'll be able to strike the Yao realm from afar. Kill the Yao clan. The three high-tier immortal emperors began to bluff to their heart's content. Moreover, the lies they came up with were perfectly reasonable. All of a sudden, the entire immortal world was in an uproar. This is too amazing. The three high-tier immortal emperors actually set up such a spatial formation. This way we won't have to pay the price of dying, and we'll be able to kill the Yao realm from afar. This spatial formation can project our attacks into the demon realm unreservedly and unreservedly. Ha 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 ha. This is a spatial formation that we, three high-tier immortal emperors, spent countless years to develop. Ah. It was only yesterday that this spatial formation was declared complete. Alright, enough nonsense. Now let's launch our attack. Everyone, get ready to use your immortal arts, mystiques, immortal equipment, and treasures to attack this spatial formation. The three high-tier immortal emperors had just finished speaking. Shio, 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 three beams of immortal light shot into the spatial formation. These three beams of immortal light contained countless supreme immortal arts and mystiques. Boom, boom, boom. The attacks of the three high-tier immortal emperors blasted into the spatial formation. On the other side of the spatial formation, Shio, 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 the three beams of immortal light shot over without reservation. However, they did not attack the Yao realm from afar. Instead, the three beams of immortal light shot directly into the eggshell. As for the eggshell, it absorbed the three beams of immortal light like a sponge. As it absorbed the energy, the eggshell actually wriggled happily. It was as if it had obtained a trace of incubation power. Good. It has begun. Child, the incubation has begun. Ah. Luo Xiang let out a twisted, hysterical, and ecstatic laugh. To be continued. Chapter 760. The three advanced immortal monarchs attached their immortal senses to the demonic formation to conceal its presence. They even began to brag to the immortals of the immortal realm to attack the demonic formation. Of course, these three high-ranked celestial emperors did not know about the mysteries of the space demon formation. They would not have guessed that their attacks would directly become nourishment for the female heaven-devouring beast. None of the immortals in the world of immortals suspected anything. Firstly, the structure of the space formation was too magnificent. It could only be set up by a high-level immortal emperor. Moreover, the spatial formation indeed contained the auras of three high-grade immortal emperors. It was genuine. Thirdly, the three high-tier celestial emperors were extremely reputable figures in the immortal world. They were undoubtedly the leaders of the immortal world. In the eyes of the immortals, the three high-tier celestial emperors would not harm the immortal world. Therefore, when the three high-rank immortal emperors attacked first, the immortals no longer hesitated. This spatial formation is so miraculous that it can allow our attacks to reach the demon realm and cause destruction. How magnificent! This will allow us to achieve victory against the demon realm without shedding a drop of blood. Attack. Immediately launch your strongest attack. Destroy the monster realm. Eradicate the demon race. Now attack with the least cost. Heart-stirring roars resounded throughout the celestial world. The immortals all longed to destroy their mortal enemies, the demons, while they were still alive. He didn't hesitate to pay with his life. However, he was unscathed. There was no need for them to die. This way, why not? This roused the fighting spirit of countless immortals. As a result, Hong, first a middle-grade immortal emperor, directly used a sure-kill immortal art. With a slap of his palm, wind and lightning appeared in all directions. An intense mushroom cloud blasted directly towards the teleportation array. The mushroom cloud was the culmination of the middle-grade celestial emperor's cultivation. In terms of destructive power, it was likely capable of razing a mountain range in the celestial realm to the ground. In the mushroom cloud, dense immortal talisman characters rose up, like jade. When the palm landed on the spatial formation, it was immediately sucked in and devoured. The spatial formation was like a terrifying vortex that could devour any attack. As the name suggested, the spatial formation was meant to attack this place, move to another dimension. As a result, no matter how violent the attack was, it would not cause any damage to the space formation. This intermediate-grade immortal emperor roared after unleashing his attack. Indeed, that's right. This emperor's attack was redirected to the demon realm. This emperor can sense the direction in which this immortal art has been shifted, because this attack contains a sliver of this emperor's spiritual will, so I can make a rough judgment. Everyone, let's attack. Don't hold back. Don't be stingy with your celestial artifacts. Kill them. All of a sudden, the celestial realm was in an uproar. The densely packed attacks began to bombard the space formation one after another. He had an extremely powerful immortal technique. There were some immortal artifact Dharma treasures with extremely sharp and tricky attacks. There were even some immortals who had a blood feud with the demons. They had almost squeezed out all their immortal power and attacked without any hesitation. The scene immediately became beautiful and splendid. Waves of attacks exploded like the most beautiful fireworks, blooming in the space formation. The scene was pushed to an extremely beautiful state. However, this beauty contained endless murderous intent, endless hatred, and endless destruction. All the immortals in the world of immortals vented their deep-seated hatred for the monster spirits. In just 2 hours, hundreds of millions of attacks had been launched into the space formation. Moreover, this kind of attack was as smooth as flowing water, showing no signs of stopping. Some of the immortals who had exhausted too much of their immortal power immediately sat down to recuperate and consume pills to replenish their immortal power. Once their immortal power had recovered, they would attack again. The immortal world had entered a state of all-out attack. At the intersection of the immortal world and the demon realm, 3 high-grade immortal emperors. At this time, the 3 high-grade immortal emperors heaved a sigh of relief. There are no flaws. With all our efforts to conceal it, Luo Xiang's plan is flawless. In my opinion, our son probably needs these attacks to be converted into energy in order to be reborn. Now that the entire immortal world is attacking, the amount of energy converted into energy is extremely huge. Our son's resurrection shouldn't be a problem. Yes, for the sake of our son we have to go all out. This time it can be considered a risk. If the Grand Mist Emperor finds out about this, he'll definitely get to the bottom of it. It's a risk, we're really taking a risk, but we don't have any other choice, we don't have any other way out. The Grand Mist Emperor's whereabouts have always been uncertain. I suspect he has already entered the depths of the universe to comprehend the heavenly Tao and reincarnation. I'm afraid he will no longer interfere with the matters of the immortal world and the demon world. Think about it, the last time we framed that absolute blade fellow and killed him, he even gave birth to a child with Luo Xiang. Not only did the Grand Mist Emperor not interfere in such a big matter, he also did not pursue the matter with us. Perhaps we shouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. This time the Grand Mist Emperor probably won't appear. The entire immortal world will be under our control. That's right. After the fall of the monster god, the Grand Mist Emperor no longer needs to stay in the immortal world. I remember a long time ago, the Grand Mist Emperor once said that comprehending the heavenly Tao of the universe is his lifelong pursuit. The monster world. At this moment, the attacks of the countless immortals did not descend upon the land of the immortal world. Instead, they flowed seamlessly through the transmission formation engraved on the surface of the eggshell and into the egg. No matter how violent, how dense, or how powerful the attacks were, this female heaven-devouring beast egg could absorb them all. It was like a terrifying, greedy, and bottomless pit. A giant sponge. Chi, madly absorbing, swallowing like a whale. These attacks could not cause any damage to the egg. Moreover, every single attack was converted into energy that nurtured the egg of the heaven-devouring beast. As it absorbed endlessly, the fluctuations of life coming from the female heaven-devouring beast egg grew stronger and stronger. The next moment, crack, a crisp sound rang out, like the sound of a cocoon breaking out. Also like the sound of a worm hibernating in the soil awakening. On the surface of the eggshell, a crack had appeared. It was just a shallow crack. However, Luo Xiang's face was completely distorted, her eyes filled with ecstasy. She could not control herself, her heart palpitating and trembling. This is great. This is really great. Her voice was dreamy, her eyes like smoke. Such terrifying energy. Back when the Lord Monster God carried out this plan, he did not obtain such a crazy amount of incubation energy. Back then, the Lord Monster God. They were all incubating in secret. And now, my son. The entire immortal world is channeling energy to my son. Ah, these fools of the immortal world. They will personally incubate my son, and once my son hatches, he can sweep the entire universe. He will become a truly invincible existence. Ah, Luo Xiang's attitude was crazy. She transmitted her voice to the 3 high-level immortal emperors through the voice transmission stone, her voice shrill. Not bad. You did well. But it is still not enough. Continue attacking. Continue with your strongest attacks. Your son still needs a vast amount of energy to be revived. Don't stop. You 3 old things, use your strongest attacks too. in the special space where the monster realm and the universe intersected. Xiaohan was currently drifting in this space. This was not the monster realm, nor the immortal world, but the universe. At this moment, Xiaohan was surrounded by the magnificent origin energy of the universe. There were also colorful cosmic meteorites and many planets. How spectacular! Xiaohan was simply amazed. Too beautiful, and there is a vastness within this beauty. This is the universe. This is the essence of the universe. Xiaohan was completely immersed in the beauty and grandeur of the universe. He sat cross-legged on a moving meteorite. The entire starry sky seemed to revolve around Xiaohan. Moreover, Xiaohan could clearly feel that even if he exposed his immortal emperor identity and energy aura here, he would not have to worry about the monster realm finding out. And the 3 high-level immortal emperors would not be able to find any traces of Xiaohan. This was the universe, very safe and isolated from the rest of the world. After admiring the universe for a while, Xiaohan immediately gathered his thoughts. Alright. Here, I can freely refine the many treasures that Master gave me. I can directly obtain the last move of the 100 Lives Saber Dao, the 100 Lives return to 1, and completely inherit the Absolute Saber Master's Saber Dao. Now that I am also an immortal emperor, after inheriting all of Master's Saber Dao, my Saber Intent will definitely be perfected and enter the state of Saber Intent Transcendent. I will open the door to the Saber Realm and receive the Supreme Saber Soul. My Saber Intent will reach the perfect state. Saber Intent is meant to slay nothingness. When that time comes, I can use my Saber Intent to slay the monster god soul residing in my heart. At this thought, Xiaohan's eyes flashed with an unyielding fighting spirit. Monster god, it is still unknown who will be the winner between us. The next moment, Xiaohan entered the Qingquan bag in the storage ring. In the Qingquan bag, Xiaohan's plane, his family, his slaves, and all the mortals and immortals in all the planes were now living a life of working at sunrise and resting at sunrise. He had no contact with the outside world at all. It was like a paradise. Seeing Xiaohan return, his wife, children, friends, and the other slaves surrounded him like stars surrounding the moon. They all asked Xiaohan questions at once. After spending a few days with his wife and son, Xiaohan entered the exquisite pagoda. It's time to obtain the inheritance that Absolute Saber Master left for me. To be continued. Chapter 761. Xiaohan arrived at the cosmic space. After isolating the demon realm and the immortal realm, he directly entered the Qingquan bag. After a short period of relaxation, Xiaohan entered the Linglong Tower. The 4th floor of the Linglong Tower. The time ratio was 10,000 days inside, 1 day outside. Xiaohan was sitting cross-legged in a secret cultivation room on the 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda. At this time, Bai Shi and the other powerful beings from the alternate dimension were also on the 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda, just like Xiaohan, but in another room. They were also diligently cultivating. Right now, their cultivation states have all improved by leaps and bounds. All of them were already on the verge of entering the high stage of the immortal emperor realm. There was only a thin layer of window paper that could be broken with a single poke. Bai Shi and the others have already accumulated enough immortal force and energy. Now they just need to comprehend it. Once they comprehend it, they will be able to advance to the high immortal emperor realm. Xiaohan smiled knowingly. Once Bai Shi and the others succeeded, Xiaohan's plane would have a total of 100 high-level immortal emperors. That would be a terrifying force. One had to know that there were only 4 high-level celestial emperors in the entire immortal world. If Xiaohan had 100 high-level celestial emperors under him, he would definitely be able to sweep through the immortal world and the great thousand cosmos. However, Bai Shi and the others had been cultivating for many years. It was not something that they had achieved overnight. They were all cultivating on the 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda. Inside the pagoda, 10,000 days were equivalent to 1 day outside. Alright, Bai Shi and the others have made great progress and I can't be too relaxed. I'll start cultivating as well. Xiaohan discarded all distracting thoughts. At this moment, an inheritance jade token floated above Xiaohan's head. The 100 Lives Saber Dao. The final move. Refine the inheritance jade plate. I will obtain the final essence of the 100 Lives Saber Dao, the soul part. A flash of lightning like saber light. The next moment, Xiaohan's energy was extremely condensed. His eyes were empty but they weren't. His hands formed a seal at his dantian. Xiu, xiu, xiu. Very soon, extremely pure saber chi gushed out from all the pores on Xiaohan's body. This saber energy was innumerable. Every strand was in the shape of a dragon. The aura of the great Tao filled the air. After mastering the 100 moves of the 100-era Saber Tao, Xiao Han's Saber Tao had already touched the edge of the heavenly Tao. The saber chi was like a dragon entangling Xiao Han. Xiao Han's robes fluttered without any wind. He was like a saber emperor controlling everything in the world. The supreme principles of the saber descended, boundlessly domineering. Suddenly, Hong, all the saber chi in Xiao Han's body suddenly condensed. All rivers run into the sea. It was gathering above his head. Gradually, countless saber chi condensed into a saber pillar above Xiao Han's head. This saber pillar suddenly twisted like a tornado. This blade pillar was engraved with dense and profound symbols, as well as some immortal blade techniques. It glistened brilliantly, and there was even the brilliance of divine jade shining on it. Within it there was spirituality. This saber pillar was formed by Xiao Han's vital chi, life saber chi and saber intent. It could even be said that this saber pillar was a clone of Xiao Han. Or rather, it was a part of Xiao Han's soul. Xiao Han had already refined his life saber intent and fused it into the saber pillar tornado. Then, boom! The saber pillar tornado changed again. It turned into a giant dragon, and directly swallowed the jade inheritance plate. Pucci, the jade inheritance plate was swallowed by the saber chi dragon. It immediately dispersed, turning into lines of symbols that attached themselves to the saber chi dragon like gilding, causing the saber chi dragon to emit an indescribable radiance. This radiance was very ancient, but it contained divinity as if it came from a divine kingdom. At the same time, Xiao Han's eyes suddenly opened. A ray of light of enlightenment flashed past. The essence of the 100 saber techniques of the 100 lives saber Tao appeared in Xiao Han's mind. It flowed and spun and then began to fuse. The 100 saber techniques seemed to be fusing into one. I get it now. This is what it means to combine 100 lifetimes into one. This is the most terrifying, invincible and powerful saber technique in all of the immortal world. Xiao Han was completely obsessed with the fusion of saber techniques. At the same time, the saber chi dragon above his head became more and more resplendent and more real. It was almost about to transform into a 9 heavens true dragon, soaring through the heavens. Fusion. The 100 saber techniques turned into 90 moves, 80 moves, 70 moves. During the fusion process, Xiao Han's soul was also under a great burden. It could be said that his soul was being ravaged. His entire soul surged with pain, as if his organs were being torn apart, as if he was being cut by 1,000 cuts. Xiao Han was also shocked by this. He did not expect the fusion of the 100 lives saber Tao to reach the 100 lives return to one state would be so cruel and difficult. This was a tempering of the soul. Xiao Han knew that ordinary people, even if they were immortal emperors, would not be able to refine the jade inheritance plate of the absolute saber master. Their souls would be torn apart and annihilated. Fortunately, Xiao Han had already condensed the saber intent of the great accomplishment stage. His soul was sharp, and he had also cultivated the extinguishing sky and earth mental technique. The strength of his soul was no weaker than that of a high-level immortal emperor. Since Master has chosen me as his disciple, I will definitely be able to inherit all of Master's teachings. I will fuse this final technique even if it costs me my life. Xiao Han gritted his teeth, his heart filled with determination. His soul became sharper and sharper as he endured the tearing pain. The 100 saber techniques turned into 50 moves, 40 moves, 35 moves. The further it went, the more difficult it was to fuse and the more time it would take. When the 30 moves were fused, it became more obvious. Every time he fused a move, he would need several months. Fortunately, Xiao Han was fusing in the Linglong Pagoda, so time passed very slowly. Immortal World. The space demon array was still hovering in the sky of the immortal world, like a blazing sun. It existed for a long time like a black hole whirlpool. The immortals. They attacked the space demon array crazily, tirelessly. Every time they were tired, they would swallow immortal pills and spiritual medicine. In just a few days, the entire immortal world had consumed countless immortal pills and spiritual medicine. And the 3 high-level immortal emperors also launched their strongest attacks. They all took out their natal immortal weapons and attacked the space demon array with their strongest and most powerful attacks. Every time the 3 high-level immortal emperors attacked, the entire sky was dazzling. Like a splendid color like fireworks. Every time the 3 high-level immortal emperors attacked, it would cause the entire immortal world to cheer and admire. The entire immortal world was going all out against the space demon array. Moreover, the three high-level immortal emperors were attacking without holding back. This made the other immortals even more certain of their suspicions. They all thought that by attacking the space demon array, they could indirectly destroy the Yao realm. At this time, the three high-level immortal emperors were secretly pleased with themselves. Such a violent attack. Countless immortals joined hands, from us to ordinary immortal emperors. Then from high-level true immortals to low-level true immortals. All of them are attacking. This energy should be enough to resurrect our sons, right? Perhaps. But continue, don't stop. Luo Xiang told us to continue attacking the space demon array. Yao realm. Yao God temple. The storm-like attacks were transmitted through the space demon array, all absorbed by the female heaven-devouring beast egg. At this time, Luo Xiang was going crazy, almost hysterical. There's too much energy for incubation. This energy far exceeds that of Lord Yao God. Then, crack, 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 the surface of the eggshell cracked continuously. Now it was full of cracks. The entire egg was on the brink of shattering. An overwhelming aura of life that could swallow mountains and seas and encompass the entire universe leaked out from the gaps of the broken eggshell. Luo Xiang did her best, releasing all the fiend energy in her body before she managed to hide the life fluctuations that leaked out. She even used some of the fiend world's treasures. Child, soon, you're about to break out of the cocoon. Kikik. Child, you're a miracle, the greatest miracle of the entire universe. The union of a heaven-devouring beast and a Yao. No, to be more precise, child, you're the union of the heaven-devouring beast, Yao, and immortal, the three strongest races. What kind of existence will be born? With my knowledge, I can't guess, but the answer will be revealed soon. The next day, within the broken eggshell, apart from the destructive life energy that leaked out, there were also traces of mental energy fluctuations being released. Mother, the intent seemed to be calling out vaguely. Luo Xiang's body trembled in fear when she received the intent. Child, mother, it's me? The intent appeared in Luo Xiang's mind in the form of a voice. However, the voice was very strange. It was the demon prince's voice, but it wasn't. Simply put, it was a woman's voice. It was even more tender than Luo Xiang's voice, like a girl in bud. Mother. I've already devoured the heaven-devouring beast's divine soul. Kikik, mother, thank you for finding such abundant energy for incubation. I can already feel it now, and I'll break out of the shell soon. The demon prince's intent rippled and let out a bell-like laughter. Mother, I still need some energy for incubation. Kikik, this is unexpectedly smooth. Mother, don't worry. After I'm born, I'll definitely help you flatten the immortal realm and dominate the universe. Nothing can stop me. Kikik, now I can be sure that even if a Yao God revives, I can still kill him. It'll be as easy as stepping on an ant. I'm invincible. Good. Child, don't worry. I'll definitely let you hatch successfully. Luo Xiang was crying tears of joy. She took out a voice transmission stone and said sternly, You three old things, listen up. Keep attacking. Attack like crazy. Don't stop for a moment. Your child is about to be revived. To be continued? Chapter 762. Luo Xiang's plan was progressing very smoothly. It was perfect. At this moment, not only was it not a bad thing for the Demon Crown Prince's body to be destroyed by Xiao Han, it was also a kind of destruction and reconstruction. The Demon Crown Prince's divine soul seeped into the female heaven-devouring beast egg, refining the beast's life force and taking over the nest. The most difficult part of this plan was nothing more than the incubation process. If it hatched naturally, it would definitely have to wait for billions of years. Therefore, it required an extremely large amount of incubation energy. Back then, the demon god had a noble status and countless resources, but it couldn't hatch in a short period of time. Instead, it was seized by the group of immortals and sealed, causing it to fail at the last moment. But now, the incubation energy that the Demon Crown Prince obtained was simply enormous. It was countless times more abundant than the demon god. One should know that the Demon Crown Prince received the collective attack of the entire immortal world. Continuous attacks for several days. This was a power that could crush the demon world to the ground. Therefore, on the surface of the female heaven-devouring beast egg, the surface of the eggshell was densely covered with cracks. The Demon Crown Princes had awakened, sending a very obvious and lively message. Mother, Ha-hang, this is great, mother, your son will be able to see you soon. Luo Xiang was also overjoyed. However, at this moment, his son's voice had become extremely awkward. It was sharp and shrill like a woman's voice. She couldn't care so much anymore. Luo Xiang understood that her son could help her realize her ambition. Sweep the immortal world. Sweep the universe. Become the overlord of the universe. Luo Xiang's heart throbbed as she reprimanded the 3 high-rank immortal emperors through the voice transmission stone, telling them not to stop. Continue the attack. At the intersection of the immortal world and the demon world. The area where the 3 high-rank immortal emperors occupied. At this moment, the 3 high-rank immortal emperors were a little tired. They were also a little tired. In these few days, although the entire immortal world was attacking the spatial demon formation, the 3 high-rank immortal emperors didn't stay idle. They also continuously launched attacks, sparing no effort, even using their natal immortal treasures and magic treasures. This caused the 3 high-rank immortal emperors to feel a little exhausted. They had to take some immortal pills to warm their spirits. I can feel it. Something doesn't feel right. Our combined attack, the combined attack of the entire immortal world, the 3 of us putting our lives on the line. Even if we were up against the demon god, we might have been able to repel him or even injure him. But isn't the amount of energy needed to resurrect our child a little too terrifying? Just now, Luo Xiang even transmitted a message to us, telling us not to stop. He's going to launch another barrage of attacks. That's right. The energy generated from the attacks of the past few days should be enough to resurrect our child, right? Could it be? Could it be that Luo Xiang is plotting something? Forget it, don't make wild guesses. If we continue asking, it will only make Luo Xiang very unhappy. She has an important handle on us, so there's no need to shed all pretense of cordiality with her and fight to the death. Moreover, she is indeed resurrecting our son. Alright, let's follow Luo Xiang's instructions. Continue attacking. Many immortals in the world of immortals were hesitating. They had been attacking for several days, but there was still no movement from the demon realm. Logically speaking, a group attack of this level should have already flattened the demon realm. Why were the 3 high-rank celestial emperors still requesting to continue attacking? Some of the immortals stopped attacking. They looked at the empty sky with confused eyes. At this moment, the impassioned voices of the 3 high-rank celestial emperors echoed across the world. Everyone, continue attacking. Now, we can tell you that our crazy attacks of the past few days have achieved results. In today's demon realm, who was the most powerful demon race? You should know a little about it. It's the demon god's most beloved concubine, Luo Xiang. Luo Xiang's battle prowess isn't any weaker than us 3 high-rank celestial emperors. Her demonic techniques are unpredictable. Her existence is the greatest threat to our world of immortals. The spatial formation that we 3 high-rank celestial emperors have set up is to surround the demon god palace where Luo Xiang is. The monster god palace was also equipped with many defensive restrictions. Our attacks over the past few days have completely destroyed the defensive formations that the demon god personally left behind. Continue attacking. We can kill Luo Xiang. We can eliminate the greatest threat from the demon realm. After killing Luo Xiang, the leader of the demon realm will be gone. Some wild monsters pose no threat to us. The 3 high-rank celestial emperors told another huge lie. Then they took the lead and launched their own powerful attacks. None of the immortals in the immortal world imagined that their leader would try to trick them. Thus, after resting, they cast aside their doubts and focused on attacking the demonic formation. In this way, the demon prince would be able to obtain continuous nourishment as he wished and was closer to hatching. In a special area at the intersection of the immortal realm and the universe, there was a blessed grotto heaven. It was full of immortal chi. Many auspicious beasts lived carefree lives. Xiao Yunrong and her master, the ordinary-looking middle-aged man, sat leisurely by the stream. The water of the stream was as clear as a mirror. The ordinary-looking middle-aged man sat and fished. Xiao Yunrong stood by the side and served him. She respected her master very much. If it weren't for her master, she would have died a long time ago. It was even more impossible to miraculously cultivate to become an immortal. At this moment, the middle-aged man had a grave expression in his eyes as he muttered to himself. Things are just as I predicted. It has actually developed to such an extent. Hearing this, Xiao Yunrong also said worriedly, Master, you mean Xiao Han. Xiao Yunrong was also very smart. She knew that in the upper world, no matter in the demon realm or the immortal realm, there was almost nothing that could move her master. Xiao Han was the only exception. After all, Xiao Han had a fey god inside him. The middle-aged man gently put down the fishing rod, and the grave expression in his eyes grew more and more intense. Back when I divined that the demonic god was residing in Xiao Han's body, I directly descended to the lower realms and enlightened Xiao Han. Master. He didn't kill Xiao Han. Xiao Yunrong said gratefully, Master, you have the virtue of caring for all living things. Ha! The middle-aged man laughed. He said with a smile. On the one hand, Xiao Han is indeed innocent. Killing him is against the heavenly Tao. However, based on the situation at that time, the demonic god was still in a budding state in Xiao Han's heart. As long as I made a move, even if the demonic god counterattacked, I had a 70% chance of killing it. At that time, I had a 70% chance of killing the demonic god. In the grand scheme of things, it was not impossible to destroy the demonic god and Xiao Han together. However, I still didn't make a move. It was not only because Xiao Han was innocent but because the one who started the trouble must end it. To completely destroy the demonic god, Xiao Han had to do it himself. Moreover, I divined a disaster. A catastrophe. Disaster? A catastrophe? Xiao Yunrong was stunned. Yes, this disaster. It might destroy the entire demon realm and the immortal realm, and even the entire universe, the middle-aged man said very seriously. What? Xiao Yunrong naturally knew that her master never joked when he spoke. Could it be? Could it be? Master, you can't solve this disaster? I can't solve it either. This is fate. Although I divine this result, I can't directly destroy this fate. And this disaster, there is probably only one person who can solve it. The middle-aged man looked into the distance, as if he was looking at the special area where the demon realm and the universe intersected. His voice also became extremely low. Young man, it seems that I was right not to make things difficult for you. You've already become the key to saving the world from this calamity. But it's difficult. You have to kill the demonic god's soul and borrow the power of the male heaven-devouring beast to destroy the female heaven-devouring beast. The special area where the demon realm and the universe intersected. The Cosmos Bag. The 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda. On the 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda, time was worthless. Xiao Han compressed the 100 lives saber Tao without rest. He had to compress 100 saber techniques into one. 100 lives returned to one. This was the strongest saber technique in the world. Once this saber was unleashed, it would dominate the world and rule the world. At this moment, Xiao Han was completely surrounded by saber chi and ancient saber intent. He could not remember how many years he had cultivated in seclusion. Perhaps it was 10 years or perhaps it was 20, but this was not important. What was important was that the 100 saber techniques had been compressed by Xiao Han into 8. As long as he compressed the remaining 8 saber techniques into one, Xiao Han would completely control the 100 lives returned to one. As the compression of the saber techniques progressed, Xiao Han's understanding of the saber had reached an incredible level. Moreover, he also took the opportunity to cultivate the extinguishing sky and earth mental technique. As the saber intent was polished to its sharpness, Xiao Han's mental strength also skyrocketed to an unimaginable level. The extinguishing sky and earth mental technique was like a hot knife through butter, and Xiao Han successfully completed the breakthrough hand seals. The 28th set of mental finger seals was completely mastered by Xiao Han. This set of mental technique that was difficult to achieve since ancient times was cultivated to perfection by Xiao Han. Xiao Han also vaguely understood from this cultivation method that the creator of this cultivation method was an immortal emperor who died in battle to seal the demon god. Even he himself did not complete the final 28th set of spiritual finger seals. As for Xiao Han, it was because of the combination of the saber intent and the incomparable sharpness of his mental energy that he was able to accomplish what the sages and immortals had failed to do. He had cultivated this mental energy technique that had been the greatest since ancient times to the present to the peak. Now Xiao Han's mental strength had completely solidified, becoming a mental star. In Xiao Han's brain, a great mental star was condensed and created. Now, even if Xiao Han's physical body died, as long as a tiny fragment of his mental strength existed, Xiao Han could rebuild his physical body. It was almost the realm of immortality and indestructibility. Correspondingly, with the combination of this mental technique, Xiao Han's fusion of the 100 lives saber Tao was also greatly beneficial. Finally, the remaining 8 saber techniques merged into one. In an instant, Xiao, a ray of light from the secret chamber that Xiao Han was in, spread out, and even seeped out of the Linglong Pagoda and Chengkuan pouch. In the vast universe, it directly lit up. Boom! The entire universe seemed to be illuminated by this ray of light. The next moment, puff! The universe space, which was swept by this ray of light, was instantly split into two, and was directly cut open. Immediately the ray of light disappeared. In the secret chamber of the Linglong Pagoda, Xiao Han's eyes also flashed with a ray of light. Immediately this ray of light was also absorbed into Xiao Han's body. 100 lives returned to 1. I finally mastered this technique. The 100 lives returned to 1 that cuts the universe apart. Xiao Han's expression slightly changed. To be continued. Chapter 763. Finally, after a period of bitter cultivation, Xiao Han completely absorbed and mastered Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's Saber Dao cultivation. The last move, 100 lifetimes returned to 1, Xiao Han also perfectly mastered it after going through a lot of hardships. So, this 100 lifetimes returned to 1 is a kind of saber force. This move does not have any technique to speak of. It is a move that returns to its natural state. The strength, the sharpness of the blade, the tyranny, the descent of a monarch, and the disdain of the world have been displayed to the fullest extent. Now Xiao Han stood proudly, his mind still reflecting on the charm of this blade. Any technique will be overshadowed by this blade. A single force can break through 10,000 techniques. One saber to destroy all the rules. The aura of this saber is unparalleled, killing all the heavens. At this moment, Xiao Han was filled with unprecedented respect and admiration for his master, Immortal Emperor Ju Dao. To be able to create such a saber technique, he had already reached a kind of limit on the path of the Saber Dao. Master's Saber Dao is unparalleled in this world. Since ancient times, there has never been a saber user who could surpass him. Xiao Han deeply agreed. Moreover, Xiao Han, who had inherited Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's orthodoxy, already had a feeling of surpassing his master. In other words, even if Immortal Emperor Ju Dao was reborn and fought with Xiao Han, he would probably lose. This was not an exaggeration. Because Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's Saber Dao was already completely controlled by Xiao Han. Immortal Emperor Ju Dao did not have some of Xiao Han's trump cards. First, mental strength. Xiao Han had already completed the extermination of heaven and earth mental strength technique. He had already cultivated it to the pinnacle that even the creators could not cultivate. It was already perfected. Mental strength turned into a star, lasting for 10,000 years. As long as there was a thought. Even if their physical bodies were completely shattered. They could be reborn, but their cultivation would be affected to a certain extent. Moreover, mental strength was as strong as a star. One thought could shatter a star. In terms of mental strength, Immortal Emperor Ju Dao could not compare to Xiao Han. Second, immortal body. In fact, after becoming an immortal emperor, Xiao Han's immortal body had already reached a terrifying level. It was already tyrannical to a horrifying extent. One should know that Xiao Han's foundation was a special dual attribute immortal body. When he was still immortal, he had already created an immortal body that could withstand the attack of a low-level true immortal. Now that the tide was rising, his physique was even more unimaginable. In terms of physique, Immortal Emperor Ju Dao lost to Xiao Han again. Thirdly, Xiao Han had countless secret techniques of the demon race. Xiao Han's demonic energy was also extremely terrifying. He could release tens of thousands of demonic techniques in an instant. Xiao Han was a demon and immortal cultivator. This point, Immortal Emperor Ju Dao was better than Xiao Han in terms of variety of attack methods. He was still far from it. Of course, in terms of cultivation realm, Xiao Han was only an intermediate immortal emperor while Ju Dao Immortal Emperor was a high immortal emperor. In this aspect, Xiao Han was inferior to Immortal Emperor Ju Dao. Now, my battle strength is enough to challenge the 3 advanced celestial emperors. Xiao Han's eyes were filled with confidence. Humph! The 3 old dogs and that Yao God's concubine conspired and schemed against my master, harming his reputation in life. Now, I have the ability to avenge my master. Xiao Han's heart calmed down as he carefully analyzed the situation. Facing the 3 advanced celestial emperors, although my cultivation level is lower than theirs, I can definitely kill them directly. 1 against 2, I can rely on my mental strength, immortal physique, 100 lives Saber Dao, and demonic techniques to resist them. Although I might not be able to kill them, I can still injure them. 1 against 3, I'm no match for them. Xiao Han's analysis was extremely calm and objective. However, Xiao Han soon collected his thoughts. Now, I'll release my mental strength in the form of saber intent into the vast universe to sense the ancient saber realm gate. Then I'll receive and merge with the ancient saber soul, allowing my saber intent to reach the most perfect state. Saber intent godly. Xiao Han sat down cross-legged again. In fact, Xiao Han's saber intent was already restless, as if it was about to break out of its shell. It seemed like Xiao Han had already sensed the ancient Saber Realm Gate in the vast universe. It could even be said that the ancient Saber Realm Gate was opening, forming a state of attraction and pulling on Xiao Han's saber intent. The intensity of Xiao Han's saber intent had already gained the approval of the ancient Saber Realm Gate. Now what Xiao Han needed to do was to release his saber intent soul, enter the universe and step into the ancient Saber Realm Gate. Soon Xiao Han entered a strange state where he forgot about himself and his mind wandered into the universe. His head lit up. Swoosh. A mental strength entwined with the saber intent broke out of its shell. This mental strength was no longer an illusory object, but a solid object. Metal state. As hard as diamond. Using the phrase, impregnable, was not enough to describe 1/10,000th of it. As for the saber intent, it was in the shape of a dragon entwined with mental strength. The saber dragon was vivid and lifelike, covered in scales and had an ancient aura. It was an indescribable kind of old, as if it was the age of creation. The saber dragon and mental strength fused and directly flew up into the sky, flying into the vast universe. Boom, boom, boom. When the saber dragon and mental strength entered this universe, they immediately encountered all kinds of chaotic cosmic energy flows. Nirvana heavenly fire flow. Falling bird flow. Extreme cold daylight flow. Black hole devouring flow. The chaotic energy flows in the universe were extremely violent, destroying all things. Even if an ordinary immortal entered it, they would be instantly minced into pieces, leaving no bones behind. Even an immortal emperor would not dare to recklessly drift in the universe for a long time. Not to mention the soul. The soul was a substance that was many times more fragile than the physical body and the immortal body. Almost no one would dare to directly release their soul into the universe. And at this moment Xiao Han's soul was traversing through these chaotic energy flows. He allowed all kinds of energy flows to encircle him. In the past, when Xiao Han released his soul to wander in the universe, looking for the ancient Saber Realm Gate, it was like walking on thin ice, with danger at every step. The situation was extremely dangerous, and his soul could easily be destroyed. Even after cultivating the extinguishing sky decimating earth mental strength, he could only get slightly closer to the ancient Saber Realm Gate, but he could not go any deeper. And now, pooh. All kinds of chaotic energy flows had just approached Xiao Han's soul. They were directly smashed by the saber intent. The saber intent was too strong. It showed off its sharpness. It was simply a state of killing gods and Buddhas in its way. It shot forward all the way. Soon Xiao Han's soul saw the ancient Saber Realm Gate. It was great. The gate that contained the supreme saber soul. The world of sabers. Close. Directly rush over. Open this gate. Boom, the soul and the saber intent dragon shot forward. The closer to the ancient Saber Realm Gate, the more destructive the cosmic energy was. The more dangerous it was. But Xiao Han's mental strength was sharp, filled with determination and determination. Close. The distance to the ancient Saber Realm Gate. 100 miles. 80 miles. 60 miles. Rapidly approaching. Along the way, the saber intent pulled out a ripple shape, tearing the cosmic heavenly fire flow apart. The soul that had evolved into a mental strength star, slightly contracted and expanded. A large piece of meteorite flow exploded. Forward. He was getting closer and closer to the ancient Saber Realm Gate. 1,000 meters. When he was still 1,000 meters away from the ancient Saber Realm Gate, the vast saber intent civilization rushed towards him. It directly engulfed Xiao Han's soul and the saber dragon. Boom. The soul and the saber dragon were hit by the tide-like saber intent civilization. They immediately stopped moving forward. This saber intent civilization was too terrifying, almost breaking Xiao Han's soul and the saber dragon. With a cracking sound, cracks appeared on the soul and the saber dragon. Xiao Han was forced to stop moving forward. However, he did not panic. Instead, he took the opportunity to comprehend and absorb this saber-intent civilization that was as deep as the sea. He greedily absorbed it. His soul and the saber dragon stayed in place. They continuously absorbed it as if they were swallowing some elixir, constantly nourishing themselves. Time became very long. At the start, Xiao Han's soul and the saber dragon looked like they were about to shatter. However, as time passed, not only were the cracks mended, but the saber intent and soul became even brighter, emitting a sharp glow. Xiao Han had actually swallowed and refined this saber intent civilization that was as deep as the sea. It made his own mental strength and saber intent stronger and stronger. It was as if a blunt knife was continuously sharpened on a whetstone, and the sharpness was sharpened. After completely swallowing this saber-intense civilization, Xiaohan's soul and the saber dragon were one step closer to the ancient saber realm gate. 800 meters away from the saber realm gate, another wave of even more terrifying saber-intense civilization swept over. It enveloped Xiaohan's soul and the saber dragon. The demon realm. The demon god temple. Luo Xiang guarded the cracked egg of the female heaven-swallowing beast. The attacks from the celestial realm were transmitted endlessly through the space demon array and hit the eggshell. The feminine voice of the demon crown prince continued to spread in the form of a thought fluctuation. Ha! Mother. It's too nourishing. Ah! Energy. This energy is too nourishing. Ah! Ah! Mother. I'm about to come out. Luo Xiang clenched her fists tightly. She was so nervous that she was about to suffocate. The next moment, pooh! A piece of eggshell flew out. Finally, the eggshell of the female heaven-swallowing beast began to crack. As the eggshell cracked, the extremely terrifying and completely unreasonable vitality and life aura directly shot out. Even Luo Xiang's demonic power could not conceal the life aura of the strongest species in the universe that shot out. Boom! A wisp of life aura burst out. This wisp of life aura swept across and shook the demon god temple. Moreover, it turned into a ray of light and rushed to the sky of the demon realm. It was as sharp as a sword, and even the sky was cut open. The violent airflow spread out like a swarm of bees. The entire space of the demon realm suddenly became unstable. Tens of thousands of demons were shocked. They shuddered from the bottom of their bones. Oh no! This incubation state can no longer be concealed. Luo Xiang was also shocked. This terrifying wave will soon spread to the celestial realm. In the blink of an eye, pooh, 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 pooh. The eggshells of the heaven-swallowing beast shattered one after another. Wisps of life aura sputtered out. To be continued. Chapter 764. Finally, Luo Xiang's plan, which she had painstakingly worked on, had made the most progress. It was close to perfection. With the support of the abundant attack energy, the female heaven-swallowing beast's egg was greatly nourished. The cracked eggshell began to break apart piece by piece. Pooh, pooh. Every time a piece of eggshell was blown away, an aurora-like life energy would spurt out. This kind of life energy was too powerful. Like a heartbeat, every time it wriggled, it was as if the entire demon realm was shaking. Plop, plop. The entire demon realm's spatial fluctuations fluctuated along with the life energy, as if the jumping of the life energy had completely controlled the demon realm's ruler. Yes, that's right, it was the ruler. Moreover, the intense light of life energy had cut the sky of the demon realm apart. At first, one was divided into 2, then 2 into 8, then 8 into 16. Poochie, poochie, poochie. In an extremely short period of time, before the demons of the demon realm could react, the sky of the demon realm was almost torn to pieces. The demonic chi of the demon realm began to become chaotic and violent. The blazing sun disappeared without a trace, and the entire demon realm began to show a state of dusk. Sand and pebbles were flying as if a disaster was coming. Soon, swoosh, one book, read, xxc swoosh, swoosh, the demon race including many demon monarchs directly flew out and hovered in the air, howling in fear. What's going on? Is the immortal realm attacking us? Could it be that the immortal realm knows that we suffered losses during the selection of the new generation of demon gods, so they took advantage of the situation to attack us? Did they raise their troops to attack us? Damn it. The immortal realm has destroyed the demonic chi pattern of our demon realm. Now, the energy of our demon realm is being drained bit by bit, right? As the light of life energy in the sky became more and more concentrated, the entire sky was filled with cracks and explosions. Moreover, the energy of the demon realm was being extracted. At first it was only heat and demonic chi. Then, any energy with life energy was forcibly extracted. All the energy. It began to gather towards the demon god temple. Funneled into the demon god temple. Demon god temple. At this moment, the shell of the female heaven-devouring beast's egg was on the verge of shattering. Powerful and demonic life fluctuations crazily wriggled, absorbing the energy of the entire demon world for its own use. In the face of such a powerful aura, Luo Xiang kept retreating while gathering her demonic energy to protect herself. Unable to withstand the pressure, he retreated. But in his eyes, a crazed and perverted expression flashed. Jia, child. Success. He was about to succeed. Ka 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 ka. The momentum of the incubation was irresistible. Ga. A ghastly and excited voice sounded from within the eggshell. Mother, I'm coming out. Ah. I have to thank that wild demon for shattering my physical body, allowing me to obtain this opportunity to be reborn. Mother, you're right. The strength that I've obtained after my rebirth is indeed invincible. Ah. Even if the demon god was reborn, I would still be able to instantly kill it. Hearing this, Luo Xiang laughed like a madman. Good child. Once you are born, destroy the immortal world immediately. And then march into the universe. Dominate the entire universe. There are many mysteries in the universe waiting for you to explore. No, it's waiting for us mother and son to explore together. Ah. This world shall belong to us mother and son. This universe shall belong to us mother and son. Ah. Luo Xiang laughed so hard that she couldn't control herself. Pooh, 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 another few pieces of the eggshell flew off. 2/3 of the female heaven-devouring beast's eggshell had already shattered. Vaguely, one could see that within the eggshell was a graceful, green-haired girl. She was completely naked, displaying an incomparably magical figure. However, during the gestation process, this girl's delicate body constantly transformed. Her beautiful body occasionally transformed into a terrifying giant beast. This behemoth was furry and had short limbs. However, its head was huge and it had a single eye. Especially its mouth, it was a bloody maw. As soon as it opened slightly, one could see that there were violent cosmic storms and black holes in its mouth. It could devour all things. It was as if there was nothing in the entire universe that this giant mouth could not devour. Meanwhile, the energy of the entire realm of beasts that was gathering towards the god beast temple was actually being devoured by the giant beast's mouth. As more energy was devoured, the incubation of the heaven-devouring beast became faster and faster, becoming more and more unstoppable. Furthermore, at the same time, the attacks from the realm of immortals were continuously transmitted through the space beast formation, causing the eggshell to shatter at a faster rate. The incubation of the female heaven-devouring beast was almost a foregone conclusion. In the realm of beasts, more beasts gathered and stared at the god beast temple in fear. They wanted to get closer to the god beast temple to see what was inside, but they did not dare to do so. The reason being that the dormant energy aura in the god beast temple was too ferocious. It was suffocating them like a tornado. They could only crawl on the ground. Deep inside their hearts, they felt like they were on the verge of death. A sense of helplessness, as if they were facing a genius. Finally, no. It's not an attack from the realm of immortals. It's not. This aura, I'm very familiar. I remember now. It's the aura emitted by the god beast when he was incubating the egg of the heaven-devouring beast. However, the aura emitted by the god beast back then was very weak. It's not as ferocious and powerful as it is now. This is a sign that the egg is about to hatch. Finally, some senior-old monsters let out a hysterical roar. It's the aura of the heaven-devouring beast, the most powerful life form in the universe. The next moment, bang, bang, bang. Many beasts, including some beast monarch realm beasts, headed in the direction of the god beast temple. They knelt down. It was the instinctive submission of the weak to the strong. In the direction of the sky feather beast city. Some of the beasts that had submitted to Xiao Han. They knelt down too. They knelt down facing the direction of the god beast temple. The realm of immortals. The space beast formation floating in the sky had been attacked by the immortals for a few days. Every time the immortals wanted to give up, the 3 high-level immortal emperors would come out and persuade the immortals not to give up the attack with all kinds of high-sounding reasons. At this moment, a strong gust of cold wind suddenly blew. It came from the direction of the realm of monsters. The wind caused the spatial laws of the realm of monsters to ripple. The sun was covered, and the realm of immortals grew darker and darker. What's this? All the immortals were stunned. They looked in the direction of the realm of monsters. The next moment, kacha, the spatial barrier of the realm of immortals sounded like it was about to shatter. It sounded like it was in imminent danger. The extremely evil and irresistible aura of life seeped toward the realm of immortals. What is this aura? It seems familiar. A veteran mid-level immortal emperor who had been living in seclusion said. His aged face began to twitch. It seems to be the aura of that battle. We lost a lot of immortals in that battle. Many of my old friends died, just to seal this terrifying aura. After a pause, the aged mid-level immortal emperor let out a trembling scream. It's the aura of a heaven-devouring beast. This is the apocalyptic aura that erupted from the Yao God. Disaster is coming. The calamity of the universe has descended once again. At the intersection of the demon realm and the immortal realm, the place where the three high-grade immortal emperors were. At this moment, the three high-level immortal emperors had already felt the terrifying aura sweeping from the demon realm. The three high-rank immortal emperors cried out in terror at the same time. Heaven! Heaven-devouring beast! It's a heaven-devouring beast. That's right. Could it be? Could it be that the demon god that we sealed has come out again? But soon, another high-rank immortal emperor said in a different voice. No. He wasn't a demon god. The aura of the heaven-devouring beast this time is a little more feminine than the one that the demonic god hatched. Even though they're both heaven-devouring beasts, they seem to be two different heaven-devouring beasts. To be able to stand at the top of the pyramid in the immortal world, these three high-level immortal emperors had extraordinary knowledge. In the midst of their fear, they all fell silent and pondered. Dozens of breaths later. Damn it. We've been tricked by Luo Xiang. She lied to the entire immortal world and launched an attack, saying that she wanted to resurrect our child. In truth, she wanted enough energy to hatch another heaven-devouring beast. I know now. The Yao race obtained 2 eggs of the heaven-devouring beast. The Yao god hatched one, and the Yao race secretly hid another. We've been tricked. We've been tricked by Luo Xiang. The Yao god didn't hatch successfully because there wasn't enough energy to hatch it. But now, all the immortals in the immortal world are attacking with all their might because the other egg of the heaven-devouring beast is providing enough energy to hatch it. Stop the attack. Give the order to stop the attack immediately. The Yao realm. The Yao realm was in an extremely dark and evil environment. The Yao God Temple. The spatial formation no longer sent out any attack energy. But it didn't matter anymore. Ha! You immortals, do you finally understand? But it's too late. Ah! Luo Xiang cackled hysterically, almost morbidly. Just then, bang! The eggshell completely shattered. Mother, your child has been reborn. An extremely bewitching woman walked out of the eggshell, her entire body shrouded in cosmic nebula vortex energy. The demon crown prince was born. To be continued? Chapter 765. The demon crown prince was finally born. Luo Xiang's heaven-shaking grand plan had finally succeeded. This was a plan that even the reigning demon immortal had failed to complete. Using the offensive power of the immortal realm as nourishment, the demon crown prince was finally born. This was the strongest life form in the universe, the fusion of the heaven-devouring titanic beast and the elites of the demon race. Moreover, the demon crown prince had the bloodline of an immortal. The fusion of the 3 strongest races. A monster born from it. Invincible. This would be an invincible existence. Absolutely invincible, there was no doubt about it. One must know that the heaven-devouring beast was an existence that stood at the apex of the pyramid amongst the countless life forms in the universe. A mature heaven-devouring beast could devour a star field and countless planets in one breath. And its defense was flawless. Even the demon immortal would have been tortured to death if he faced a heaven-devouring beast alone. However, the intelligence of the heaven-devouring beast was very low, which was why such a powerful species could not dominate the universe. And now, after the grafting, the demon crown prince's intelligence and demon techniques had perfectly fused with the body of the heaven-devouring beast. This way, the demon crown prince had evolved into a new species that could defeat the heaven-devouring beasts. It was still impossible to estimate how strong the demon crown prince's offensive power was now, but one thing was certain. The demon crown prince could kill the demon immortal at his peak. Kikik, mother, I'm out, Kikik. The demon crown prince let out a joyous and demonic laugh. The demon crown prince was completely a woman at this moment. Tall and slender. Flawless without a single flaw. Protruding from the front and back. Her skin glowed with a dreamy luster. She had long chestnut-colored hair that reached her waist. Her hair hung down to her waist, and her face was breathtakingly beautiful. It was a magical and surreal beauty. Especially her eyes. Nebula patterns and universe black hole patterns were brewing in them. They were extremely deep and boundless. Anyone who saw these eyes would have their soul shattered. Their souls would shatter, and deep in their hearts they would feel the urge to submit. Moreover, while she looked delicate, her entire body was brimming with power. That was invincible power. Every pore was filled with worlds and karma. Could be said that the power in every pore of this woman was enough to shake the world. His might shook the world. In fact, Every single strand of her hair contained unimaginable power. Power. It was as if the word had been created for her. Now, the Demon Crown Prince could no longer be called the Demon Crown Prince. After fusing with the egg of the female heaven-devouring beast, she had completely transformed into an exquisite beauty. It would be more appropriate to call her the Demon Princess. However, if someone knew that this fellow was a man who had turned into a woman, they would probably vomit in disgust. After Princess Yao was born, she gently opened her mouth and devoured all the shattered eggshells on the ground, causing her aura to become slightly stronger. With a wave of her hand, a green feather cloak appeared on her body. The clothes accentuated her nearly perfect figure, making it even more obvious that her peaks were undulating. Princess Yao withdrew her aura and walked toward the retreating Luo Xiang. Mother, thank you for resurrecting me and deceiving those foolish immortals. With their power, I was able to successfully hatch. Ah! Immortals are truly the stupidest things in the world. After Princess Yao withdrew her aura, the pressure from her bloodline dissipated significantly. Although she was still trembling a little, Luo Xiang had also adapted to it and was overjoyed. Child. That's great. Child, Mother has also sensed your power. This sort of power has never appeared on Lord Demon God before. So, it turns out that the fusion between the heaven-devouring beast and our monstrous race resulted in this way. Success. A complete success. Princess Yao smiled sweetly. Mother, all the demon race in the demon realm are watching from the outside. Let's go out now and make them submit to me. However, I haven't sensed the aura of that wild demon. At this point, Princess Yao's eyes flashed with a vicious murderous intent. This murderous intent caused the temperature of the entire demon realm to drop significantly. Luo Xiang couldn't help but shiver. Her heart stirred slightly. Why is it that when I face the child I raised with my own hands, I can't help but have the urge to kneel and submit? That's right, now my child's genes have improved and are above me. Yes, child. Let's go out now and announce this matter to the entire demon realm. Then we'll attack the immortal realm. Luo Xiang's eyes shone with wild ambition again. After conquering the immortal realm, we'll march into the universe. We'll plunder many precious resources from the universe and establish our territory. Ha ha ha. Princess Yao laughed sinisterly. However, she didn't say anything else and nodded. All right, Mother, let's go out. Whoosh, whoosh, Luo Xiang and Princess Yao flew out of the demon god palace together and soared into the sky, overlooking the entire demon realm. At this moment, the demon realm was still dark. The light was distorted and the demon chi was chaotic. When Princess Yao floated in the sky, the space and time from all directions involuntarily seeped into her body, forming a hazy light that lingered around her. At first glance, the entire sky was dark. Only the area where Princess Yao was at was emitting boundless light. It was extremely sacred, as if she was the ruler of heaven and earth, the ruler of the world. All the demon race in the demon realm were dumbfounded as they looked at Princess Yao and Luo Xiang in the sky. It was especially so for Princess Yao. The pressure she emitted was absolute. It didn't allow any blasphemy or resistance. It was a kind of suppression and superiority in terms of bloodline and genes. It was like a candle flame facing the bright moon, or an ant facing a great rock that was roaring proudly in the sky. All the demon race were silent and suffocating. Then, they knelt down. In the demon realm, none of the demon race maintained their standing posture. All of them knelt down, including those experienced old demons. I can't resist this kind of pressure. I knelt down and kowtowed. The barbarian mountain martial monarch, the Pihu martial monarch, and the demonic sword martial monarch all knelt down like pitiful worms. Even the sky feather martial monarch and the others who had submitted to Xiao Han at the beginning had abandoned their faith in Xiao Han and knelt down in front of Princess Yao. After Princess Yao was born, she didn't need to fight. She only relied on her pressure to conquer the demon realm. Some of the demon race were shocked, but they also understood one thing. The aura of this absolute beauty before them was the aura of a heaven-devouring beast. At this moment, Luo Xiang stood upright with her chest puffed out. Her face was filled with pride and supremacy. She spoke to the entire demon realm. Everyone, you should have guessed it. Yes, a heaven-devouring beast. A heaven-devouring beast. You guessed it right. The strongest creature in the universe. My child has completed the task that Lord Demon God couldn't complete in the past. My child has successfully taken over the body of a heaven-devouring beast egg and hatched from it. She is the strongest existence in the entire universe. Even if Lord Demon God comes back to life, he is absolutely no match for my child. Back then, Lord Demon God wanted to rely on the body of a heaven-devouring beast to complete his dream and become the strongest existence in the universe. Unfortunately, Lord Demon God failed. And my child has succeeded. A new generation of Demon God. No, a new generation of God of the universe has been born. After Luo Xiang announced the truth, the demon race couldn't believe their eyes. Inconceivable. The dream that Demon God spent his entire life to complete was completed by Luo Xiang's child. Luo Xiang was immensely pleased with herself. Invincible. My child is invincible. Listen up, all of you must submit to me and my child now. We will immediately send troops to the immortal realm and slaughter the immortals. Suck their brains. Enjoy it beautifully. Then we will unify the immortal and demon realms and advance into the universe. Luo Xiang's eyes flickered with a dreamy luster. We will conquer the universe and sweep across it. We will turn the universe into my Luo Xiang's and my child's private garden. This has been my Luo Xiang's wish for many years. Now it can finally be realized. Luo Xiang clenched her fists. Her words had the effect of stirring up the demon race's hearts. In an instant, all the demon race in the demon realm were roused and gnashed their teeth. Sweeping across the immortal realm had always been what these demon race wanted to do. It was just that they didn't have a leader to lead them. But now, the thought of being able to wantonly devour the brains of high-level immortals made these demon race instinctively salivate and impatient. Listen up, from now on, this world, this universe belongs to me, Luo Xiang, and my child. Luo Xiang said arrogantly. However, just as she finished speaking, pfft, a crisp sound rang out, followed by the sound of a skull shattering. Jie, Luo Xiang's voice came to an abrupt halt. Her face instantly contorted and her eyes widened to the extreme, as if they were about to pop out of their sockets. Shockingly, the demon princess spat out her long tongue and instantly pierced through Luo Xiang's skull. Child. Luo Xiang gasped in disbelief. Gugu, Gugu, Princess Yao slowly sucked in and let out an incomparably cold laugh. Truly noisy. Mother, you think too much. This universe, this world doesn't belong to me and you, but to me. Haha, Mother, many thanks for reviving me. Your body is truly delicious. Just as she finished speaking, Gu, the demon princess opened her bloody mouth and directly swallowed Luo Xiang's entire body. Then there was the sound of crunching and chewing that caused one to collapse. In a few moments, Luo Xiang was actually swallowed alive by the demon princess. In the next moment, the demon princess licked the residue at the corner of her mouth. Her face was completely filled with a comfortable and carefree expression. The taste isn't bad, ha. I wonder what an immortal tastes like. The entire demon realm was absolutely silent. To be continued. Chapter 766. This Princess Yao actually swallowed Luo Xiang in one gulp. Not even a speck was left. The entire demon realm was in complete silence. Just a moment ago, Luo Xiang was still saying that this Princess Yao was her child. Her expression was extremely affectionate and her words were filled with pride. But in the next moment she was eaten by her beloved child. All the demon clan in the demon realm were dumbfounded. Cruel. Too cruel. It was the epitome of ruthlessness and brutality. Although the monster race loved to devour immortals for fun, it was rare for them to devour their own kind. Moreover, the monster race was heartless, but they still had some feelings for their parents and children. Even if they didn't interact with them, they wouldn't go so far as to eat them. After eating the radish fragrance, Princess Yao was extremely lazy as she giggled. This heaven and earth, this universe, they all belong to me. No living being can compete with me. You tiny insects are only fit to be my lackeys. Don't you agree? Although her voice was soft, her eyes flashed with ruthlessness and murderous intent. Under the powerful ripples of life, this murderous intent was almost tangible. With a sweep of her gaze, she could make any demon clan explode and die if she wanted to. Even the three ancient demon emperors as strong as Manshan, Pai Hu, and Demon Sword would not be able to withstand a glance from Princess Yao. This power was absolutely tyrannical, surpassing the demon god of the past. It could sweep through 811. Read, in the desolate I am the only one. As a result, all the demons in the mountains and plains knelt down and praised. Lord Demon God of the new generation, this world and universe belongs to you alone. You control the life and death of all living beings in this world. No one can offend your dignity. Otherwise, there is only death. Those immortals in your eyes are no different from ants. Ha 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 ha. Princess Yao laughed proudly and charmingly said, It's good that you insects understand. Ah. If there is anyone who refuses to obey me, I don't mind eating them. Ah. Immortals? Yes. I naturally want to enter the immortal dimension and slaughter and swallow all the immortals without leaving a single one alive. But before I enter the immortal dimension, I have something to deal with. As she spoke to this point, Princess Yao's gaze became cold. A hatred that even the waters of 3 rivers and 5 lakes would not be able to wash away suddenly burst forth. Suddenly the weather of the entire demon realm changed. Silver snake-like bolts of lightning danced and circled around, and a world-destroying aura suppressed the demon realm. It was truly the wrath of a king. The momentum of mountains and rivers turning to ashes. Demon god of the new generation, please quell your anger. The thousands of demons trembled and wailed in fear. They were truly unable to withstand the pressure that filled the sky. Some of the weaker demons even had cracks on their bodies, showing signs of exploding. That wild demon! Princess Yao roared. How dare you kill my previous body? A heinous crime. This is a heinous crime. Bang, 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 bang. Amidst the angry roars, some demons finally began to explode and die. In the next moment, Princess Yao directly grabbed the Sky Feather Demon Emperor from thousands of miles away. I remember that you are that wild demon subordinate. Speak quickly. Where is that guy hiding now? Why can't I sense his aura in the demon realm? It turned out that Princess Yao hated Xiao Han to the bone. Before entering the celestial realm, the first thing she wanted to do was to find Xiao Han and kill him in one fell swoop. I want to eat that guy. I want to swallow that wild demon bit by bit. Princess Yao's voice was almost distorted. Her beautiful face was completely twisted. In the special space where the demon realm and the universe intersected, Xiao Han sat cross-legged in the exquisite pagoda in the cosmos sack. He released his soul and saber-will spirit. In the vast and mysterious universe, he sensed the ancient gate to the ancient saber realm. At this moment, Xiao Han's mental power star and the saber-will dragon that had comprehended the 100 lives returned to one had crushed countless turbulences in the universe. They were extremely close to the great gate to the ancient saber realm. However, the closer they were to the ancient saber realm gate, the more violent and vast saber-will civilization would rush out and shatter Xiao Han's mental power and saber-will. However, every time they were shattered, Xiao Han would reconstruct and refine the surging saber-will civilization. This made Xiao Han's understanding of the saber become deeper and more thorough. His mental power was also polished until it was crystal clear and as resplendent as a divine jade. When Xiao Han was 500 meters away from the ancient saber realm gate, the volume of his mental power star had increased by 10 times. In other words, Xiao Han's mental energy had become 10 times stronger than before through repeated refinement, devouring, and rebirth. At the same time, his saber-will was also 10 times stronger. This is great. Not only can the saber-will civilization from the ancient saber realm gate not destroy my saber heart, but it can also make me stronger. With my current cultivation base, it won't be a problem for me to take on 3 high-level celestial emperors alone. Xiao Han's divine soul transmitted an overjoyed thought. If immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was reborn, he would also be shocked by Xiao Han's fortuitous encounter. This was because Xiao Han's gains had completely surpassed immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's. Back then, after immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's saber-will had reached the great success stage, he had opened the ancient saber realm gate and received the ancient saber soul. However, because immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's mental power was not as strong as Xiao Han's, when he was close to the ancient saber realm gate, immortal Emperor Zhu Dao did not dare to absorb the violent saber-will civilization directly. Otherwise, his mental power would be shattered and he would die. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao only selectively absorbed the weaker saber-will civilization and avoided the surging saber-will civilization. As for Xiao Han, he accepted it all. No matter how strong the saber-will civilization was, Xiao Han devoured it and absorbed its essence to strengthen himself. Xiao Han's mental power could ensure that he would be safe and sound in the raging sea. There was absolutely no danger of the boat being destroyed and him dying. It could be said that the benefits that Xiao Han had obtained were many times greater than immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's when he had not really opened the Saber Realm Gate. Just as Xiao Han devoured and refined another Saber-will civilization, he was only 300 meters away from the Saber Realm Gate. Suddenly, there was a sudden change. Xiao Han's divine soul. He had received a very subtle feeling. This feeling was extremely ominous. It was as if there was an old enemy lurking in the dark, trying to kill Xiao Han. This mortal enemy had reached an unimaginable level of strength. Why is there such a feeling? What kind of enemy can directly affect my saber heart? The immortal realm and the beast realm have reached this point. There are almost no enemies that can really threaten me. But the feeling I'm sensing now is extremely real, like a thorn in my back penetrating deep into the wood. Who is it? Who is it? Could it be the real leader of the immortal realm, the primordial emperor? Or a monster god? Before Xiao Han could think further, another torrential saber will civilization pounced over and wrapped around Xiao Han's soul, essence, chi and saber will. Xiao Han abandoned all distracting thoughts and used his saber will to cut off any negative emotions and psychological shadow. His mind was free from dust and dirt, untainted by dust. At this time, Xiao Han was only 100 meters away from the gate of the ancient saber realm. It was so close. Xiao Han could already see the various ancient inscriptions and history carved on the ancient saber realm gate. Continue to refine the civilization that is blocking my saber will. I, Xiao Han, will completely open the ancient saber realm gate this time and receive the ancient saber soul into my body. I will obtain the great Tao of saber will. Once I succeed, I will have a chance to kill the monster god soul in my heart. I will get rid of this mortal threat. Xiao Han vaguely knew in his heart that once he annihilated the demon god soul, then he would no longer have any inner demons. From then on, his state of mind would be like a clear sky, untainted by even a speck of dust, and his cultivation realm would also reach the ultimate state of immortality and immortality. Boom! The mental strength star and the saber will dragon were shattered once again. They turned into tiny golden light spots that filled the sky, but they merged again in an instant, wriggling as they refined the vast saber will civilization. Not long after, the mental strength star reformed and the saber will dragon was rebuilt. It was much stronger than before. Continue forward. 50 meters. He was only 50 meters away from the ancient saber realm gate. Success was right in front of him. The immortal realm. The aura of the monster princess was too powerful. It had spread from the monster realm to the immortal realm, causing countless immortals to tremble in fear. They had a premonition that a terrible disaster was about to sweep through the world. The older immortals who had participated in the battle to seal the monster god were even more familiar with this feeling of terror. The entire immortal realm was in a state of panic. What's going on? Could it be that there's something wrong with the formation? Some immortals who had long been suspicious finally could not hold it in any longer and voiced out their doubts. At the intersection of the immortal realm and the monster realm, 3 advanced immortal emperors. Our connection to Luoxiang has disappeared. Luoxiang is dead. The sky-devouring beast has appeared. Luoxiang is dead. Disaster has arrived. The 3 advanced immortal emperors let out terrified howls and immediately issued an order to the entire immortal realm. Everyone. The calamity is coming. Please join hands and release your immortal strength to form an immortal barrier to protect our immortal realm. Hurry. There's no time to lose. Hurry. Our immortal realm will be destroyed if we delay any longer. The voices of the 3 advanced immortal emperors were sobbing. At this moment they already felt that they could no longer control the situation. An unprecedented disaster had arrived. This time, it was even more terrifying than the time when the monster god was sealed. Hurry. Send out the message and let the Grand Mist Emperor know. Ask the Grand Mist Emperor to come out and take control of the situation. Whether the Grand Mist Emperor can receive our message or not, we must spread the news. Otherwise our immortal realm will be destroyed. The monster realm. Under the deterrence of Princess Yao's blood-red gaze, demon monarch Tianyu's blood vessels froze. It's the new Lord Monster God. He's currently cultivating in seclusion at the border between our monster realm and the universe. Bang! Just as he finished speaking, demon monarch Tianyu exploded into dust. Wild demon. I'm going to eat you. Ha ha ha, Princess Yao roared. To be continued. Chapter 767. Xiao Han was in the mysterious universe where the gate of the ancient saber realm was. He was wholeheartedly refining his soul, essence, spirit and saber intent. He wanted to open the gate of the saber realm and achieve the immortal saber Tao. Therefore Xiao Han was completely unaware of Princess Yao's rebirth. Now Xiao Han was only 20 meters away from the gate of the ancient saber realm. After devouring and refining a large amount of the vast ancient saber-intent civilization, Xiao Han's mental energy star had become huge. It was like a clear glass mirror without any impurities. The mental energy contained within was extremely dense and filled with terrifying explosive power. With a slight movement, it could blast a cosmic star into dust. And the dragon of the saber intent was also stained with the ancient sharpness and sharpness. It could kill people and slay ghosts with a single thought. Xiao Han was very clear that once he opened the gate of the ancient saber realm and obtained the blessing of the ancient saber soul, then his achievements would instantly surpass his master. The extinguishing heaven and earth mental energy combined with the saber intent was simply a perfect match. The increase in power was immeasurable. Especially the extinguishing heaven and earth mental energy at the great perfection level, combined with the saber intent, even if immortal Emperor Judao was reborn, he would not be able to estimate its power. And at this moment, finally, when he was 20 meters away from the gate of the ancient saber realm, Xiao Han's mental energy and saber intent revealed their sharpness. Under the sensing of the aura, the gate of the ancient saber realm slowly opened. Only the saber artist with the strongest saber heart and the existence with the most crystal clear mental energy, after going through all kinds of tests, would the gate of the ancient saber realm open. Without a doubt, Xiao Han had fulfilled all the conditions. It's open. It's finally open. As a saber artist, this will be the most intense moment in my life. And the most exciting chapter. Xiao Han's soul. He was completely trembling. However, when facing the gate of the ancient saber realm, other than trembling with excitement and some respect for the great Tao, Xiao Han did not have any other thoughts. For example, the sudden feeling of killing intent from his old enemy, the long-term hidden danger, the demon god in his heart, all kinds of distracting thoughts were dispelled by Xiao Han. Now Xiao Han only had the pursuit of the saber. Except for the saber in his heart. There was nothing else. The gate to the ancient saber realm opened without any delay. Boundless light gushed out from the door. It purified the turbulence in this large area of the universe space. The glow seemed gentle on the surface, yet it contained a boundless sharpness, like a supreme saber intent capable of slashing through the void. It was the most powerful saber light in the world. Suddenly, as the saber light shone, Xiao Han's mental energy and saber intent dragons gave off crisp sounds. In an instant, a large crack appeared on the wall. The pain of being sliced into pieces stirred Xiao Han's soul. However, at a time like this, Xiao Han would never give up. The final step, charge. Fortunately, Xiao Han had absorbed, devoured, and refined enough of the vast saber-intent civilization, so the saber light did not completely shatter his saber heart. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Han's spiritual energy star and the saber-intent dragon directly entered the primordial saber-intent. At the same time, after Xiao Han's spiritual energy and saber-intent entered the primordial saber realm's gate, the gate shut tightly. It was completely closed. When the gate was closed, Xiao Han's aura was completely concealed. Just as the primordial saber realm's gate closed. Boom! A giant hand that blotted out the sky directly came from the demon realm and grabbed over through the air. Bang! This grab carried with it the power of destruction. It was as if billions of volcanoes had exploded and billions of demons were roaring. Moreover, this giant hand that covered the sky clearly carried the aura of Princess Yao. In an instant, there was an endless sound of explosions in this universe. Such a large area of space was forcefully destroyed by the grab. The attack power of this grab was too terrifying. Moreover, in this destructive attack, there was an extremely strong probing ability in Princess Yao's demonic consciousness. After Princess Yao had interrogated and found out Xiao Han's location, she immediately launched an attack to capture Xiao Han from billions of miles away. However, this grab was empty air. One had to know that Princess Yao's predecessor, the Demon Prince, had fought with Xiao Han. Although Xiao Han had disguised himself as a demon, with Princess Yao's current invincible state, even if she caught a trace of a speck of dust, she could directly capture Xiao Han in this space. Unfortunately, Xiao Han's physical body was hidden in the double layers of protection of the first instant immortal weapon and the first instant immortal weapon. More importantly, Xiao Han's soul had long entered the mysterious primordial saber realm's gate. After the primordial saber realm's gate closed, Xiao Han's aura seemed to no longer be in this universe of reincarnation. This caused Princess Yao to return empty-handed. He's not in this area. This wild demon, where did he hide? Princess Yao's eerie voice came from the giant hand that covered the sky. Princess Yao was extremely confident in her own mystique. She completely believed that as long as Xiao Han's soul was in this universe, then no matter how Xiao Han disguised himself, Princess Yao would be able to catch him. Since she couldn't sense Xiao Han's aura, Then Princess Yao was certain that Xiao Han had already escaped and was not in this area. The giant hand that covered the sky disappeared. In this universe, Xiao Han's storage ring was placed on an uninhabited planet filled with metal ores. The storage ring quietly blended in with the densely packed and irregularly shaped metal ores, and was not discovered by Princess Yao. And inside the storage ring, the Chengquan bag, the Linglong Pagoda. They were also operating. Inside the Linglong Pagoda, Xiao Han's plane. Everyone was living peacefully without any worries. The flames of war and chaos in the outside world had nothing to do with the people in this plane. They worked at sunrise and rested at sunset. Inside the Linglong Pagoda, Xiao Han's physical body was sitting cross-legged. As his soul completely left his body, Xiao Han's physical body didn't even have the ability to breathe. Or it could be said that his breathing was extremely faint, almost inaudible. His physical body was sitting cross-legged, like a stone statue. In Xiao Han's heart, his heartbeat slowed down, faintly discernible. At this moment, the demon god's soul in Xiao Han's heart sensed something. It hatched. Luoxiang betrayed me. She gave the other female heaven-swallowing beast's egg to another demon, and now it hatched. It gave birth to the strongest creature in the universe that I have imagined. But no matter, I'm about to hatch it. When the time comes, I will definitely devour that female heaven-swallowing beast. Turn it into nourishment for this seat. Ah. This human body is very good. Very good, it's actually constantly improving, allowing me to stay in his heart peacefully and hatch. And it's hidden very well. Just now, that female heaven-swallowing beast didn't find any clues. Good, after I hatch it, I can take this body for myself. Ah. Demon Realm. Princess Yao was very disappointed at this moment. Her anger soared to the sky once more, and the demons near her were burned to ashes. Lord Demon God of the new generation, spare me, spare me, countless demons cried and fled, afraid of being killed. At this moment, Princess Yao's anger had gradually subsided. She let out a coquettish giggle. It's nothing. As long as this wild demon is still alive, he will never be able to escape my pursuit. Now let's begin the crusade against the immortal realm. Immortal realm, I will turn the immortal realm into a world where I raise livestock. Ha ha ha. As soon as she finished speaking, Princess Yao ordered. Under my crusade, the immortal realm cannot withstand a single blow. But I won't let the immortal realm perish so easily. I want them to die in despair and repentance. Ah. Demon army, heed my command. Advance to the immortal realm. All the demons charge and break through the enemy lines. Ah. 1. Taste the brains and flesh of the immortals. At her command, the densely packed demons formed into battle formations and advanced towards the immortal realm. In this universe, the two races that controlled the highest level of civilization were finally going to engage in an unprecedented battle to the death. The structure of the universe would eventually be broken, and a new situation would emerge. Immortal Realm. The three high-rank immortal emperors roared in hoarse voices. Immortals, please release your immortal force and form a defensive barrier to protect the immortal realm. The demon army and that indescribably terrifying creature are approaching our immortal realm. The immortal realm is on the brink of destruction. Everyone, please work together to fight against the enemy. We have already sent a message to the primordial emperor. I believe that the primordial emperor will appear to help us overcome this crisis. Before that, we must spare no effort to make the celestial dimension impregnable. In fact, the three high-rank immortal emperors didn't need to say anything. Every immortal in the immortal realm knew that a disaster was coming. The momentum of an impending storm pounced on the immortal realm in a crushing manner. Some immortals sat cross-legged and released their immortal force to set up a defensive barrier. Some of the immortals questioned the three high-level immortal emperors, asking them what was so special about the spatial formation. The immortal realm was in a state of panic and chaos. The three high-rank immortal emperors naturally didn't dare to reveal the truth. They only released their immortal force to form a barrier that enveloped the immortal realm. Then they pleaded with all the immortals in the immortal realm to think of the bigger picture and stop asking questions. It didn't take long for a solid shield to form around the immortal world's plate. More and more immortals finally let go of their prejudices and used their immortal force to strengthen the barrier. In the end, under the mobilization of the three high-rank immortal emperors, all the immortals, including the elderly, women, and children, as well as level 1 perfected immortals, participated in the operation to protect the immortal realm. They did not hesitate to release their immortal force into the barrier. To be continued. Chapter 768. The entire immortal world was in a state of chaos and fear. Even the three high-grade immortal emperors could not conceal their fear. As the leaders of the immortal world, even if the immortal world was in danger, they should face it calmly and fearlessly. Even if they died in this battle, they would have no regrets. They should not be in such a state of chaos before the battle even started. This was not in line with the demeanor of the leaders of the immortal world. A leader with true integrity would definitely bring a sense of security to everyone. If they were the first to be discouraged, it would only cause all the immortals to fall into despair. Unknowingly, it would increase the prestige of the demon world. One side was losing, the other side was gaining. However, the three high-grade immortal emperors did not think too much about it. They immediately released all their immortal force to form a defensive barrier and sent their natal immortal treasures into the barrier. Boom, boom, boom. A few rays of light fused into the barrier. The three high-grade immortal emperors indeed destroyed their strongest immortal treasures to form energy to strengthen the barrier. Is the five elements extermination divine umbrella, and the cloud-piercing arrow and the setting sun bow, and the demon subduing immortal monument. The three high-grade immortal emperors destroyed the treasures that they had refined for countless years, turned them into energy to strengthen the barrier. The immortals of the immortal world exclaimed when they saw this. One should know that these immortal treasures were the three high-grade immortal emperors' greatest reliance. It could be said that a large part of their combat power came from these immortal treasures with terrifying offensive power. And, one book, read, now in order to protect the immortal world, they did not hesitate to destroy their own immortal treasures. This showed the courage and determination of the three high-grade immortal emperors. Of course, it also showed that they were seriously lacking in confidence. Everyone, destroy your immortal treasures. Turn them into energy. Protect the immortal world. Hurry, hurry. Quickly destroy the immortal treasures. Don't be stingy. We only hope that we can withstand this calamity. Hurry. The three high-grade immortal emperors let out heart-wrenching screams. He let out a heart-wrenching scream. Furthermore, his voice was filled with a pleading tone. Everyone, don't be so calculative in this life and death situation. We did make some mistakes in our previous decisions, but now it's not a matter of who's right and who's wrong. Right now the most important thing is, don't be so calculative. It's to protect the immortal world. Everyone move. At this point, the immortals were too embarrassed to say anything else. As a result, boom, 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 countless immortal artifacts and Dharma treasures exploded and merged into the shield. In fact, some immortals even destroyed their most precious treasures. The layers of the barrier grew stronger and stronger, until it took on a glass-like appearance. It enveloped the entire immortal world. This barrier was extremely thick. Brilliant and holy characters of the immortal world floated inside, as well as the energy of the great Tao laws. This defensive barrier was no small matter. After all, it was formed from the immortal force and life essence of all the immortals in the world of immortals. Not to mention the destruction of large batches of immortal treasures. The price was not cheap. All the immortals in the immortal world heaved a sigh of relief when they saw the barrier growing stronger. After all, such a formidable defensive barrier had never appeared in the history of the immortal dimension. Some of the more experienced immortal emperors even sighed. Even the monster god at his peak might not be able to break through this defense. That's right. Now that we're on the defensive, I believe we can still protect the immortal world. At worst, we won't be able to retaliate. However, as long as the Grand Mist Emperor returns to the immortal world, under his leadership, there's still a chance for us to retaliate. At the intersection of the immortal world and the monster world. Three high-rank immortal emperors. As the defensive barrier grew stronger, the three high-rank immortal emperors who were on the verge of going berserk finally calmed down a little. They began to communicate with each other while trembling. Good. Fortunately, none of the immortals in the immortal world pursued the matter aggressively. They even put aside their prejudices and took out their immortal artifacts to form a barrier. This barrier is also very sturdy. Even if the three of us join forces to attack it for 10 days to half a month, we still won't be able to break through it. The heaven-devouring beast might be powerful, but it won't be able to devour us in one bite. We've already sent out the message. Hopefully, the Grand Mist Emperor will be able to sense it. AI? What exactly happened? Why did Luoxiang die? Also, Luoxiang's scheme is really unfathomable. She lured us to provide enough energy for the other heaven-devouring beast to hatch. Then what about our son? Also, why did Luoxiang suddenly die in the end? Forget it. Let's not talk about these questions anymore. The most important thing now is to fend off the attack from the monster world and the heaven-devouring beast. Several days passed. Waves of ferocious demonic chi spread from the monster world. The ground rumbled as if a magnificent army was charging towards the immortal world from the monster world. Yellow sand billowed. A horrifying atmosphere filled the air. In the immortal world, the group of immortals inside the defensive barrier looked towards the source of the sound. The immortals of the younger generation, as well as those with weaker cultivation levels, could not help but feel uneasy. As for the older generation of immortals, they held their heads high and puffed out their chests. Their eyes shone with the will to defend and fight. It's here. It's finally here. Our immortal world and the monster world will face this war sooner or later. This war of eternity. It will decide the fate of the whole world. Young immortals, abandon your fear and apprehension. Fight to the death. This fated battle had finally arrived. Drive out the demon clan, exterminate the demon clan, and return a clear sky. This is the duty of us immortals. Fight. Prepare for battle. Prepare to fight the demons. Mobilized by the older generation of immortals, all the immortals in the world of immortals were fired up. As for the 3 high-grade immortal emperors, they quickly entered the core region of the immortal world's defensive barrier and issued orders. Everyone stabilize the defense. Don't be greedy and advance rashly. Defend first. As for the demon realm, at this moment, the densely packed demon race opened a path in front of them. Princess Yao sat on an ancient golden chariot pulled by 12 demon phoenixes. At the rear. Aha, immortal world. This time, I will personally crush you bit by bit, subdue you, slaughter you. I'm so excited. Demon race. We're finally going to destroy the world of immortals. Princess Yao giggled coquettishly from the golden chariot. The demon race army in front of them. This demon race army was made up of all the demons in the demon realm. Their numbers were terrifying. Among them, there was no lack of old demons with powerful demon chi. Many of the demons revealed their true forms. Their huge and ferocious bodies tore through the air as they charged forward, emitting rumbling sounds. It was extremely terrifying. A scene of tens of thousands of horses charging forward. If one looked down from the sky, they would see the densely packed demon race, like ants, surging toward the immortal world like a tidal wave. It would make one's scalp go numb as if an ant nest had exploded. The demon race numbered in the billions. Such a shocking number of demons gathered together and charged. The demon chi they emitted condensed. It soared into the sky like a beacon. It did not disperse, covering the sky and affecting the weather. The originally clear and cloudless sky actually started to snow. It seemed to be telling of the arrival of a cosmic catastrophe. Ever since the demon god was sealed, the demon realm had been without a leader for a long time. They had been oppressed by the immortal world. Now they finally had a chance to turn the tables. Under the leadership of Princess Yao's invincible power, the demon race would definitely be able to destroy the immortal world with a crushing advantage. As a result, the demon race burst out with shocking and violent cries. Kill. Charge into the immortal world. Devour the immortals. Suck their brains. Delicious and nourishing brains. Kill. Kill. All of this happened in the depths of the distant universe. Xiao Han was completely unaware of the situation. At this moment, Xiao Han had already entered the mythical gate of the ancient saber realm. Inside the gate of the ancient saber realm were balls of light. These balls of light were the purest civilization of saber intent. Each ball of light represented an ancient saber soul. This was the purest, most mysterious and most profound saber soul. A saber intent that surpassed the mastery stage. A treasure that every saber wielder dreamed of. Good. I understand now. Xiao Han's soul had just entered the gate of the ancient saber realm when a hint of enlightenment surged. It turned out that receiving the ancient saber soul was to use one's essence, chi, spirit, soul, and natal saber intent to fuse with the ancient saber soul here. How much one could fuse depended on the strength of one's essence, chi, spirit, and soul as well as the natal saber intent. As a result, fusing and receiving the ancient saber soul was not absolute for every saber wielder who entered the gate of the saber realm. Instead, those with a stronger soul and saber intent would be able to receive more ancient saber souls. On the other hand, those with a weaker soul and saber intent would be able to receive fewer ancient saber souls. I understand. I understand completely. Xiao Han's soul was filled with fiery ecstasy and worship of the ancient saber intent civilization. Now I'm going to fuse with the ancient saber soul. I hope that I can fuse with an ancient saber soul that's even larger than the one my master had, so that my saber Dao can enter the ranks of the heavenly Dao. With a single thought, my saber chi can change the universe. The stronger the saber intent, the higher the possibility of killing a demon god. Come on. Fuse. His mental strength moved. A smaller ancient saber soul was pulled over by Xiao Han's mental strength and saber intent. Two fused. Poof, they were mixed together, mutually devouring and crushing each other. Xiao Han's mental strength and saber intent wanted to subdue and refine this ancient saber intent, but this ancient saber intent struggled and wanted to devour him. I've gone through all kinds of hardships, honed my saber heart, and finally entered the gate of the ancient saber realm. How can I relax at this crucial moment? Destroy. I'm going to devour this ancient saber soul. Boom, Xiao Han's soul power exploded, burning with a crystal-clear mental strength flame. It started to burn the ancient saber soul. P.S. The recent updates are not very good, and I haven't completed the amount I need to update. I don't dare to come out and meet people. I'm ashamed. The reason? Sigh, I'll give everyone an explanation when I finish the book. I regret it. I overestimated myself. Sigh. The demon god should finish the book before the spring festival, and then I'll explain it in detail. Forget it, my friend who's lacking in books can go and read a classic fantasy book. Supreme Miracle in the Moon. This was a very powerful, refreshing, and extremely creative Eastern Xuanhuan. To be continued. Chapter 769. In the Dark Universe. The gate of the ancient saber realm, which was like a legend, was tightly shut. In the world inside the gate, Xiao Han's spirit, chi spirit and saber intent were being refined by the ancient saber souls. At this moment, Xiao Han had already completely understood the secrets and mysteries within the ancient blade realm gate. The ancient saber souls could be refined at will. It all depended on the strength of one's spirit, mind power and saber intent. It could be said that every powerful saber user, after entering the gate of the ancient saber realm, would receive different benefits. At this moment, Xiao Han tentatively pulled one of the ancient saber souls over and wrapped it around his spirit, soul and saber intent. His spirit flame burned as he forcibly extracted the essence of the ancient saber soul and used it to refine his own spirit and saber intent. Although this ancient saber soul was extremely ancient, desolate, great, shining with dazzling saber light and vast saber intent, it was extremely prosperous. However, under the burning of Xiao Han's spirit flame, which was stronger than 3 high-level immortal emperors, this ancient saber soul struggled for a while and finally, poochie, it exploded. They seemed to have been diluted and turned into fine flawless blade spots that scattered into Xiao Han's spiritual star. At the same time, they also scattered into Xiao Han's spiritual star. At the same time, it also scattered into Xiao Han's spirit star. Xiao Han's spirit and saber intent were like a martial artist who had swallowed an immortal elixir to nourish himself. They were obviously strengthened. It was also like when he was forging iron, he had incorporated some precious materials into it. The quality of his body had improved. In short, after completely swallowing this ancient saber soul, Xiao Han's spirit had improved. Originally, the spirit of exterminating sky and earth had been cultivated to the final spirit finger technique by Xiao Han. But now Xiao Han's spirit had broken free from its shackles and entered a higher level. This level. It had surpassed the limits of the spirit of exterminating sky and earth by many times. As for Xiao Han's saber intent, it had been thoroughly rendered ancient and had reached the acme of perfection. With a single thought, the saber intent could be forcefully divided into yin and yang. A single slash could split the chaos and create a new world. This was the so-called saber intent enslavement. Finally, Xiao Han had reached the realm he had always dreamed of. Alright, that was great. So sword intent transcendent is such a wonderful state. Xiao Han had an epiphany. Mastery of sword intent is just to increase the attack power and lethality of the sword intent. The destructive power was pushed to the extreme. As for the saber intent, it entered spirit mastery. After receiving the ancient saber soul, the saber intent had become a kind of faith, a supreme energy that could create and rule over everything. With a single slash he could slash through the void and sever yin and yang. Good. However, I've only devoured a little bit of the ancient saber soul. It's far from enough. The more the ancient saber soul devours, the stronger I will become. There's no rush, I'll take it slow. Once I devour all the ancient saber souls in this world, I'll truly reach the level of a deity descending to the mundane world. I'm afraid even a leader like the Grand Mist Emperor wouldn't be able to predict my realm. After completely digesting one ancient saber soul, Xiao Han quickly absorbed another ancient saber soul. His spiritual force soared into the sky, crackling as it burned. Xiao Han's strategy was also very clear. He would not be greedy and advance rashly. Instead, he would first choose the smaller ancient saber souls to devour. Only when his body's intrinsic quality had reached a certain level would he devour the stronger ancient saber souls. One step at a time. At the crucial moment, he could not afford to make any mistakes. Otherwise, he would lose his life. Nibbling away bit by bit was the way to go. Just like that, Xiao Han stayed in the ancient saber world for 3 days and 3 nights. In these 3 days and 3 nights, Xiao Han worked tirelessly and devoured a total of 18 smaller ancient saber souls. As a result, whenever Xiao Han's spiritual force shone, it would be like a blazing sun, indestructible and impenetrable. At this time, Xiao Han's spiritual force's lethality was extremely terrifying. With just a slight shine, the water on the planet would evaporate, and the planet would be roasted into a giant ceramic ball. Moreover, Xiao Han's saber intent had reached a very terrifying level. Xiao Han even had a premonition that his current saber Dao, saber intent, saber civilization, and saber spirit had already surpassed his master. He had completely surpassed his master. In other words, Xiao Han could defeat his master, whom he had never met, just by using the 100 lives saber principle to fight against immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. However, during the 3 days and 3 nights of refinement, Xiao Han also understood one thing. He could not stay in the gate of the ancient saber realm indefinitely. If he stayed for a long time, not only would his spiritual force become very tired, but the ancient saber realm would also produce a repulsive force against Xiao Han's spiritual force. Oh no. I have a feeling that I will be expelled from the ancient saber realm. If my estimation is correct, I can only stay here for another 10 days at most. Xiao Han condensed his spiritual force into a ball and observed his surroundings. Forget it. In these 3 days, my mental energy and saber intent have also strengthened significantly. In that case, I'll throw caution to the wind for the next 10 days. I will no longer be cautious. I will directly devour the most powerful ancient saber soul in the ancient saber realm. As Xiao Han's spiritual force locked on, he immediately discovered the largest saber soul in the ancient saber realm. It was in the central area, a huge ancient saber soul. No, seriously speaking, it was a planet of sabers. A planet made up of pure saber intent. This planet seemed to only have a diameter of about 100 zhang. However, it had been highly compressed. If it were to leave the ancient saber realm, this planet would expand to at least 1,000,000 kilometers in diameter. It would become a real habitable planet for humans. Moreover, the planet would definitely be filled with saber chi and rich spiritual energy. It would allow countless humans to cultivate on this planet and become peerless saber masters. I will refine the most terrifying saber soul in the ancient saber realm. Xiao Han was ready to fight for his life. If I refine this saber soul planet, I will have the confidence to kill a demon god. If I can't refine it, I might explode. But it doesn't matter. If I don't try to refine it, I won't have the confidence to kill a demon god. Sooner or later, my body will be occupied by a demon god. I will die either way, so why not give it a try? As he thought of this, Xiao Han's spiritual force and his saber intent once again released a light that could burn everything. The brilliance of this light could not be described with words. Previously, when I refined the smaller saber souls, I actually held back. Now, I will no longer hold back. All my energy. Release from me. Refine this huge saber soul planet. Let me control the strongest saber soul in the universe. Boom! Xiao Han's spiritual force and saber intent had almost merged into one. It turned into a stream of light and directly shot into the saber soul planet. At the same time, in the Chengkuan bag inside the Linglong Pagoda, Xiao Han's body was as still as a rock, sitting quietly on the 4th floor of the Linglong Pagoda. Suddenly, Xiao Han's body was fluctuating. Xiao Han's heart began to wriggle. Bulge, deflate. Bulge, deflate. This cycle repeated. Inside Xiao Han's body, inside his heart, there seemed to be a huge storm brewing. Moreover, a cold voice burst out from Xiao Han's body. Strange. I actually have a bad feeling about this. But I can't care so much anymore. I'm about to hatch that male heaven-devouring beast. Very soon. I'm about to succeed. The Immortal Realm. At this time, the Immortal Realm had already strengthened the defensive barrier to an extreme. Led by the 3 high-grade Immortal Emperors, all the Immortals had squeezed out all their energy. Moreover, all the immortal weapons and Dharma treasures of slightly better quality had been broken to strengthen the defensive barrier. Finally, the demon race army had reached the edge of the defensive barrier. In other words, they had reached the border of the immortal realm. Billions of demon race soldiers covered the sky. Demon chi surged and blood rained and the wind smelled. Roar. Kill. Destroy the immortals. Conquer the immortal realm. Eat the immortals. Delicious immortals. Devour them. The demon race army erupted with bloodthirsty howls that filled the sky and covered the earth. Princess Yao, on the other hand, was holding the line at the back of the demon race army. She sat on the golden ancient demon chariot, suppressing her brutal and invincible aura. A pair of bloodthirsty and perverted eyes revealed the look of a cat toying with a mouse. She giggled, obviously not intending to attack immediately. She looked mockingly at the defensive barrier that the immortals had set up with all their might and said disdainfully, "You think this trashy defense can stop me? It seems that these immortals are really childish. I only need to release a bit of my power and this defense will collapse. However, I'll play around with these ignorant immortals and give them hope. Then I'll tear this pathetic hope apart with my own hands." After a cold laugh, Princess Yao's voice was transmitted to the demon consciousness of every demon race soldier. Attack. Tear apart the defense set up by these immortals. The next moment, boom, boom, boom. Shockwaves of demon art and all sorts of dazzling demonic arts exploded and bombarded the defensive barrier of the immortal realm. Stop the attacks of these demon race soldiers. The three high-grade immortal emperors let out heart-wrenching howls. Stop them. Finally, the war between the immortals and the demon race had completely erupted. To be continued. Chapter 770. The ancient war between the immortal realm and the demon realm had finally begun. This was a historic war and also a war that was set in stone. After this battle, it was decided that in the future, a race would be completely erased from history. Before this, the demon realm and the human realm had been at odds with each other for many years. However, they had always maintained a balance and tacit understanding. They would not start a race extermination war. Neither side had the confidence to defeat the other. But this time, Princess Yao led the demon realm's army out in full force. Their morale was high and they wanted to take down the immortal realm in one fell swoop. Once the immortal realm was destroyed, the human realm and the lower realm would soon perish. At this moment, the densely packed demon arts were like dazzling fireworks, exploding on the outer defensive barrier of the immortal realm, creating many potholes. As for the people of the immortal realm, they were united, resisting with all their might. They did not give up at all. This thick layer of immortal realm barrier was the condensation of the immortal force of billions of immortals. It was also the essence of countless immortal artifacts and Dharma treasures. It could be said that this layer of barrier contained the souls of immortals and Dharma treasures. One should know that every successful immortal artifact had a life of its own. It could be said that this layer of immortal artifact barrier contained the power of countless Dharma treasures sacrificed. The first wave of the demon realm's attack left densely packed marks on the barrier like a hornet's nest. But these marks were quickly repaired by themselves. Great! Our protective shield can withstand the demon clan army's crushing attack. At this moment, countless immortals burst into heart-stirring roars. Quick! Swallow the pills and recover your immortal force. Once we've rested, we can kill our way out. We'll torture these filthy demon realm to death. The immortals roared and roared. They sat cross-legged. They began to swallow immortal pills. In the sky, countless pills and immortal talismans descended, cooling the area and helping the immortals recover their energy. It was the three high-rank immortal emperors who were casting spells and sharing their treasures. It could be said that after the first wave of the demon realm's attack, the immortals' fighting spirit began to rise. It began to rise steadily. They had confidence in this battle that did not look optimistic. At this moment, the three high-rank immortal emperors, It seems that the demons will not be able to break through our defensive line in a short period of time. Yes, according to the thickness of our defensive barrier, it can even last for half a year. In the past half a year, our strength has long recovered, and when the time comes, we will be able to recover our strength. Killing their way out was just when the demon clan's demonic power was exhausted. With this, we will be able to obtain victory in this battle. However, I keep feeling that something is amiss. Why did the heaven-devouring beast's aura suddenly disappear? Don't forget, the heaven-devouring beast has yet to make a move. Once the heaven-devouring beast intervenes in this battle, it will be hard to say who will win. Yes, we can't let our guard down. We need to strengthen our defenses. On the side of the demon clan. The demon clan was also full of energy. After the first wave of attack, they quickly organized a second and third wave of attacks. They were not limited to demonic arts, and they smashed towards the barrier of the immortal realm. Princess Yao still did not make a move. There was a cruel smile at the corner of her mouth, and her eyes flickered like a cat toying with a mouse. The more we attack, the higher the morale of these immortals will be. When they are full of confidence, I will personally make a move and destroy them. Ah, this is fun. This world is too boring for me. Conquering this world and the universe is a very easy thing. Therefore, I need to find some fun to relieve my boredom. Ah, it's really empty and lonely. I didn't find the aura of that wild demon in the immortal realm. Where did that guy hide? Damn it. Next, it was a one-sided attack and a one-sided defense. The demon clan's army continuously used their demonic arts to bombard the barrier of the immortal realm. However, there was no destructive gap in the barrier. As for the immortals, they seized the time to recover their vitality and build up their battle intent. A special area where the immortal realm and the universe intersected. It was a special cave abode created by a great immortal force. At this moment, the green-robed middle-aged immortal and Xiao Yunrong were standing by the river. The clear river water reflected the current battle between the immortal realm and the demon clan. One attack and one defense were clearly displayed in the river water. The green-robed immortal and Xiao Yunrong were watching the battle intently. Xiao Yunrong was extremely nervous. She clenched her fists tightly and her heart was filled with anxiety. She only heaved a sigh of relief when she saw that the demon clan's countless attacks were all in vain. She said excitedly, "Master, we can defend this place." On the other hand, the green-robed middle-aged immortal's face was tense. She's playing. The immortal realm is in danger. Master, what did you predict? What about him? What about Xiao Han? Xiao Yunrong asked, trembling with fear. Two heaven-devouring beasts. The green-robed middle-aged immortal's eyes narrowed. The female heaven-devouring titanic beast has already hatched, and the male heaven-devouring titanic beast will hatch soon. The immortal realm is in danger. All our hopes have been placed on Xiao Han. But at this moment, I can't feel Xiao Han's existence at all. He seems to have entered the ancient saber realm. Master, you should take action too, Xiao Yunrong said impatiently. You're the #1 immortal emperor in the history of the immortal world. You deserve to be the leader of the immortal world. Only you can save the situation. It turned out that this green-robed middle-aged immortal was the #1 immortal emperor in the immortal world. The Grand Mist Emperor. The Grand Mist Emperor took a deep breath. I won't abandon the immortal world. I will definitely take action. However, now is not the best time to take action. The war has just begun. In the boundless universe. The ancient saber realm. At this moment, Xiao Han was trying his best to refine and absorb the largest saber soul in the ancient saber realm. In other words, it was a highly condensed star saber soul. Xiao Han had already refined all his mental strength to the limit. It was completely ignited and wrapped around the saber soul planet to refine it. However, 5 days had passed. Xiao Han's mental strength was about to be overdrawn. He was extremely tired. However, he couldn't completely refine and control this saber soul planet. Oh no. 5 days have passed. There are only 5 days left. I'm in this ancient saber realm. I can only stay for 5 more days. 5 days later, I will be expelled from the ancient saber realm. I won't be able to enter the ancient saber realm for the rest of my life. The gate to the ancient saber realm can only be opened once for every saber user. This is the law of the universe. No saber user can go against it. However, based on the current situation, I won't be able to refine and control this ancient saber soul in 5 days. No. It wasn't easy for me, Xiao Han, to reach this step. I can't give up. Xiao Han's mental strength had reached an indestructible level. He would never give up in the face of adversity. Now I'll stop refining it. It's useless to refine it like this. Think? I believe that no saber user in this universe can refine this saber soul planet. Even if Master Ju Dao Immortal Emperor was reborn, he would still be far from being able to refine it. However, since this saber soul planet exists, then it must be possible to refine it. It exists for saber users to refine. Xiao Han's heart. He had completely calmed down. He began to think and no longer acted recklessly. Refining means taking this saber soul planet for myself, breaking it down and turning it into my mental strength and saber intent. However, this is impossible. If this saber soul planet is released, it will become a planet full of saber chi. It's too difficult for a human to refine it. Even with my strength, my mental strength and the brilliance of my saber intent, I can't refine even 1,000th of it. There's something strange about this, Xiao Han began to think for a long time. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, the 4th day. On the 4th day, Xiao Han's mental strength and soul could clearly feel the rejection of the ancient saber realm. In other words, Xiao Han would be expelled from the ancient saber realm tomorrow. The gate to the saber realm would never be opened for Xiao Han again. And in these 4 days, apart from thinking, Xiao Han actually did nothing else. All of a sudden, Xiao Han's mental strength became clear and bright. It shone with boundless light. Why should I refine this saber soul planet by force? The way to control this saber soul planet is to be inseparable. I am the saber soul planet. The saber soul planet is also me. Integrate. Destroy and build. Yes, it's integration and destroy and build. Completely destroy my mental strength, soul and saber intent. Integrate into this saber soul planet. Not refine but integrate. As soon as this thought flashed through his mind, Xiao Han's soul, essence, chi and spirit, as well as the dragon of saber intent, were shattered. They turned into endless sharp spots of light and completely integrated into this huge saber soul planet. It was as if the surface of this saber soul planet was covered with a layer of golden powder. Integrate. Inseparable. At this moment, Xiao Han's essence, chi, spirit, soul, and saber intent were completely integrated into the saber soul planet. In an instant, Xiao Han's scattered thoughts absorbed a more mysterious, vast and profound saber intent civilization. Just as Xiao Han had envisioned, he gradually became closely connected with this saber soul planet. Xiao Han's Qingquan bag. On the 4th floor of the Linglong Tower. At this moment, Xiao Han's heart was wriggling even more violently. Waves of sinister and evil demonic aura were released from the top of Xiao Han's head. The demonic laughter of the demon god came from Xiao Han's body. In the battle that year at the Demon God River, I was sealed before I could devour the entire Demon God River. However, by coincidence, my rise was unstoppable. This time, that kid actually brought me to the Demon God River again, allowing me to finally achieve my wish and devour the Demon God River, and obtain the origin energy for incubation. Ha! I'm about to be born. Then let's first seize this kid's body. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Han's facial features became distorted. Xiao Han's expression became extremely conflicted. Pa 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 pa. All the bones, muscles and internal organs in Xiao Han's body burst out with a terrifying squeezing sound. The demon god had begun to seize his body. Xiao Han's physical body was resisting. To be continued. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.